Good morning, Justin. How you doing, man? Kids are out of school for spring break, so overslept a little bit. Stayed up a little bit later, too. So getting started a little bit late this morning. Just getting everything set up real quick, and then we'll get straight into it with us not having as much time as we typically do. Good morning, Rich. How you doing, Brett? Man? Excuse me. Good morning, Julian. How are you? Trading floor. Trading floor. Oh, my hair's a mess. I look a mess. I didn't get to get ready at all this morning. Forgive me. Who we got in here? Julian. Good, just at work. Freaking cold today. Waiting for delivery. 10 degrees outside. Man, where are you at? Not where I want to be. What's up, Justin? How you doing? Good morning, man. Looks like we just hit 1,021 followers on our Facebook page. I appreciate the support there. For sure, man. I need 20 more likes on my Facebook page, and I'll feel accomplished. Share that there. Let me share it on. I'm just sharing some of these to some of our new communities. I have to add them into the distribution list so that I don't have to manually do this anymore. I like hard work. I work hard, but I like to figure out how to be lazy in the process. So, ugh, my thumbnail on this looks terrible. Looks like Dylan actually went live this morning. I wish I could be there. Who we got in here? Justin. Alright. Our Justin's in here. Reg in here. Julian. J-Dub. What's up, man? I didn't see you there. We didn't get to the gym because we slept through your alarm and too cold to run. Rough morning. Yeah, it is. So just to catch everybody up, over the weekend we were looking at potentially doing some calls on XPing, EXPEV. Looks like it gapped up like I assumed it would have. The market's gapped up just a little bit, but not enough. SPY specifically, only due to the fact that it was at an all-time high. Let me spread this out a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Pull some of these indicators out for now. Alright. So yeah, looks like it went to retest 395. Good morning, John. How you doing, man? John is with Strike Investments. It's another community we're looking at partnering up with. Great community over there as well. But yeah, looking at the SPY, man, it, this is what I was trying to tell everybody in the Facebook chat last night, is the fact that the SPY only gapped up about, 80 cents at its peak. Or I think it was like 50 cents last night. And it just wasn't enough for my comfort level. Expecting a lot of people expecting the stimulus to hit the markets and stuff like that. And I just don't think it's going to play out that way like it did before. That being said, 10-year yield is pushing down a little bit. It was at its peak at 1.632. So it's been bouncing off, and I had expected it to gap down. It actually picked back up overnight, but looking at my indicators, it was giving me signs that it could potentially pull back just a little bit. Now, we can expect, good morning, Yanya Lancaster. Thank you for joining us. Everybody, thank you for being here this morning. But, we can continue to expect for the interest rates to continue rising as the markets and the economy and states begin to reopen. It's only right that these interest rates pick up. So we're going to see that continued pressure from the 10-year yield on the markets moving forward, weighing down on things. A lot being tech rotation. That tech rotation that we saw, of course, I think the NASDAQ has actually bottomed out and is currently on its way back up. So as in regards to our small account challenge for the group, I think we might want to shift our attention to the QQQ and utilizing that rebound that we saw the SPY conduct last week. I think the NASDAQ's going to do it this week, and we're going to see some of these tech plays pick up. And I think we can capture some of those gains off of the calls for the QQQ, probably to like the 320 now, because it's at 315. I think at its peak it was up to like 317 last night, where I saw it, and that kind of concerned me because I felt like we lost some ground we could have gained. Of course, you guys know I had calls on the SPY and the QQQ last week, but I don't hold my options over the weekend because of the theta burn when I'm day trading these markets. So I will definitely be looking at an option chain today, focus mainly on the QQQ. I expect the SPY to actually try to pick back up and retest those all-time highs. But typically, I can do a swing trade today on the SPY where, we have it at that 395 strike point. But I expect it to rebound off of those. The next day, it typically will continue to pull back, rotate, and consolidate a little bit lower. So from there, we might do a put going into tomorrow, intraday. I'm not shorting the market long, just catching the downswing. I could be wrong. Due to the fact that we are retesting those all-time highs, that could be a reason for it to continue pushing up. So while the SPY is in that current situation, I'm going to look at the QQQ because it has a lot of headroom sitting around the 312s to 318s. It's actually, the all-time high for it is around 340. So it has a lot more headroom than the SPY. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I don't want to get caught in any type of traps with the SPY. I'm making any calls or puts on it in the next few days. I'm going to let it do what it does, and just basically watch the trade and analyze whether or not I was right or wrong, more so. So with that being said, I think we can still go forward with our GE calls for March 26th. Let's see where GE is. If it's already above 13, then I think we're too late. No, but it does look like it's having some resistance at that EMA, so we're seeing an EMA rejection on it. What I've been telling you guys about, why I follow these EMAs the way I do. And so we might want to hold off and just see if it pulls back a little bit. I still have faith that it's going to go back up to those $14 levels moving forward. So I don't know if it's the right opportunity. And these are things I was looking at last night in preparation for today. So I'm pulling up my option chain for you all now, and we can look over some of the QQQs, use those for today, and capture some of those gains. Of course, we're trying to focus on the quickest route in getting our small account challenge off the ground, with this just starting at $200 per person as a group. For anybody that's new to that challenge, we're doing a small group account challenge. I just did one 2 weeks ago, and I did it in the midst of, the reason I started 2 weeks ago is because it was in the midst of the market down pullbacks, the rotations out of techs, the 10-year yield picking up. I wanted to do the small account challenge in order to show people how you can make money in a downturn that aren't accustomed to options, and we were able to multiply the account by 18x. Right now it's currently sitting at 1873, and I'll continue playing that same account, but I'm going to pull 200 out of it and start a whole new challenge with you guys. So the challenge is basically going to be a training tool for people to get accustomed to utilizing options, whether it's in a market upturn or a market downturn, and capturing gains off of options with market swings, and using the market swings to account for calls and puts on individual stocks that you like and you have a lot of confidence in. So to look at the Qqq option calls, since this is a new call in our small account challenge for you guys that have been with us on this little project we're doing, I would be looking more so, I like these March 26 calls. They're 11 days out. I would actually be looking to play around with the 180s, although they're out of the money. So I would suggest looking at the 327s strikes. We'll get about $22 on the move. And if we're looking at the Qqq, let's see here. We're at 315. I'm expecting it to at least jump to 320. Should be able to gain, if it moves on that $5 move, we're looking at about $85 on the call. So we'll get close to 50% of the account up today alone, and that's the goal. We're having some issues getting above the 320 though, so I want to see how it reacts to those levels. But as you can see, we're propping up pretty well on the 1 hour, and that's what I've been looking for in the NASDAQ. Now we can utilize the EV markets with Tesla if we wanted to as a secondary option. Of course, Tesla's been kind of trading sideways. I feel like it's been kind of compressing and ready to bounce. As you can see, the 1 hour MACD showing compression right there, but it's having issues staying above the 695, and that's a concern. I don't want to again get caught in a trap as it's retesting these levels over and over again, and potentially could pull back again. Now, a lot of great things going on at Tesla, so I expect it to continue pushing up and it bring up the rest of the EV market. We can go down our coffee and stocks list and kind of look at some of those plays as well to see if we can find some alternatives as a backup plan. These are the wrong ones. A lot of people in the Facebook group know I'm a large advocate for RMO. And I'll be putting about $800, $200 on the warrants. I want to give those a shot, at least buying 53 of those warrants. And then $200 on the equity stake, and then about $400 on the options. And I want to utilize that in order to show you the differences. I might do 200 evenly across all three, so we can see the reward between all three. And the difference is just to set an example on how well those play out versus each other. But just looking at some of these. Jeff, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, bro. Good morning. I hope all is well with everyone. Like I said, I apologize for being a little bit late this morning, but kids are out of school, so overslept myself a little bit, which is abnormal. But anyways, moving forward, just go down the list real quick and see what we're looking at. NLSP looks like it's going to continue consolidating on the 1 hour, probably fall to that EMA before it bounces again, so I'm going to wait. OGI, excuse me, had a nice run last week, jumped about $1, found some resistance around the 450 areas. Looks like it might be consolidating a little bit, so I'm gonna keep pushing. DNN is something that one of our members added to us. It's actually making its way back to its long-term trend, but looked like it found some resistance right here, and right here is special due to the fact that it was recent resistance before, and it consolidated off of that level. So I'm going to be looking to see the same pattern, and maybe it'll swing again. So I'm going to look for an entry right here off the 110. If it bounces off the 110, we can see this breaking through the 140s, and if it even hits 139 again, that's at least about 30% on the trade. So we can do a quick swing in and out trade, you know, a little bit less, about 20 days, give it about 20 days or so, if that long. But that's if it even loses momentum at this point and even makes it back to 111. So I definitely want to see how it reacts. I'll keep paying attention to it. ZOM is a Medica Corp. It bounced above the 212, which is what we've been waiting for, and ever since then it's been performing very well. And I said it needed to find support above the 235. As you can see, it actually gapped up above it, and it could potentially pull back down. And I was looking for this to go to 291 overall. So let me do this too, so you can have a clear view, and then I'll get rid of some of these drawings as well, so we can just look at the indicators and the actual chart. So we can, I'm going to keep the indicators in there so I can see my momentum, you know, my volume down here, and the actual Ema crossovers that it's conducting. Moving on to AMC though, AMC needed to stay above 1108, I believe was the number, and it's currently at 1208, but finding resistance. So I want to see how it reacts to those levels as well. Looks like I will need my drawings here and there to justify. But yeah, it was finding support. It was actually having some churn last Friday to get above those levels, and it's finally gapped up. But it hit that resistance level. I want to see how it reacts to it going into today. I'm not into the trade myself, but I know a lot of people are. I think J-Dub's in here with EBIX, EBIX. I mean, if you're still in this, man, you're good, you're doing well. I'm glad you are. Currently at $32. I think you said you got in at like 26 or 24. So you're already up $8 a share. I'm not sure what your position size on that is, but looks pretty good, man. Looks like that litigation is getting out of the way for you, and this could take off. I would see how it reacts to that 41.58 level, as it was previously support. I expect a support resistance before this is able to move above that level and regain some of those price ranges that it was at before the litigation came in. What is this? HCMC. We were looking at this as a sub penny stock that a lot of people were interested in the group and just wanted to review. Let me reset my chart because it looks offset a little bit. It's currently having some 13 EMA rejections on the low side, so I would be careful with it. It could pop up. Let me look on the 1 hour real quick and bring in my other indicators so I can give you the clear shot. I think Nick was looking at this one. It looks like it's trying to gap up, bounce on the 1 hour, so it might move. I'm not big on sub penny stocks though myself, so I'm not in the play. FRSX looks like it is having some momentum loss on the 1 hour, but it's right above that 13 EMA. It could bounce and retest those 905s. That'll give us about I'm doing the math in my head, 143 on the move, so it's well above. It's right at 20% on the swing trade if you were to get in this on an equity share, just buying the shares. Socket is something we've been watching as well. It's actually trading below the support level of $10, which is odd. The stock was doing very well in the last few weeks. It actually bounced up to like $12, I believe, but found some resistance around there. So this might be a good load up zone to catch the momentum swing above that 1193, and once it hits above that 1193, you have that 1193 to 1572 range to trade in. But after that, you're looking at resistance at the 1851, so you're really looking at almost like a $6 to $7 spread that you can gain on getting in right now, which is about 60% on the trade that you could win off of it. So I like Socket and what they're doing. We've reviewed it before. I've done some trade reviews on it. I'd like to do a more in-depth video, one of those 10-15 minute videos on actually going in on the DD and justifying the move for the long-term holders in our community, and just seeing what the company's doing overall, every bit of what the company's doing, and just present that to you guys. So I'm interested in doing that today. CLSN, I said it needed to get above 230. It's currently finding some short-term resistance right there. It might be able to break through based on what the 1 hour is showing me. And if it does, then we'll bounce to the 279. You'll make about 50% on the trade, which gives you near 20 to 25% on the swing. And then we were looking at Disney. I think somebody was actually interested in shorting Disney. And as you can see, it actually ended up gapping up to the $71 range. I'm not sure if you actually conducted that trade, but I think I advised against it because of the short term. The price range was so small. I think it was at like $66 or something when we looked at it, and I would only expect this to pull back to the 62.31. So the put range on the contract is not wide enough. You would have to buy more contracts in order to actually capitalize the most off of it. And it's Disney, so Discovery, excuse me. We already looked at the 10-year. It's currently sitting at 161. I want to see how it reacts to the rest of the day moving forward. But as long as it's picking up, we're going to see some downward pressure on the markets overall, which I don't understand to some degree, because if the economy is reopening, you can expect the 10-year interest rates to pick up. That's just how it works. And at its lowest, it was at around 52% or 0.52%, and now we're already up $1.10, 11 cents percent. But if you pay attention to this level right here, I want to see how it reacts moving forward to that 160, because it's you see it's having that EMA bounce, and that's why I use the EMA as I do. It's bouncing right off of that 34 EMA. So GM, we were looking at, it's performing. I mean, it jumped $3. This is a long-term hold in our book. It bounced above the 57.16, and as soon as it retested that level, you see it broke out. And that's why we focus on our key levels of support and resistance here at Millennial Investments, so that we know when we retest these levels, we can expect hard bounces and breakouts from basically compressed demand to get those stock prices higher. Qqq is another EV push that I've been pushing alongside RMO. It's a industrial EV manufacturer. It actually is using the license from SOCMA, which is a Chinese company. That company is using Qqq as their backdoor back into the US. I'm expecting this to go back to $20 just as much as I am RMO, and I've been saying that this current level that it's in is a great buy zone. And as you can see on the 4-hour, it looks like it's setting up pretty well to break out today above that 1340. So if you were to get into it, you'd be 40 cents below that level of resistance, and breaking out, you could let this really run. As long as you put a stop loss on the 1340 after it breaks out, you can let this run at $20, gain $7 on the trade, and that'll give you close to 50% on the trade. Ford is still doing well, breaking levels that it hasn't seen since I think 2016, end of 2016, beginning of 2017, and it's actually headed to some great price levels. I think we're looking at this to go to the $17 price range at its peak. That's where it's peaked out before, at least $17.52 to be exact. I'm in this. I agree with it for the long hold. I'm not in this. Let me correct myself, but definitely think it's a strong play. Then we have Bitcoin breaking 60,000 this weekend. Has since then consolidated, pulling back to 56,000. I really want to go in here and identify some more levels at these price level ranges, so you have a better, clearer idea of what to pay attention to, which your crypto plays in the markets. Now, that 57,800 level is a key level of resistance that it finally broke out above, but it hit its long-term trend and rebounded. I mean, precisely. We've been pretty much on point with a lot of our tech analysis here, and it's provided a lot in the expectations of what's going to happen. Now, I want to see Bitcoin stay above, moving forward, above 52,640. It shouldn't lose any support, but it looks like it's bouncing off of that bottom 55 EMA, finding the support to bounce and rebound back above the 57.8. If it gets above the 57.8, that's where I'm looking for my next level of support, and it continue riding this long-term trend up. So we could see this easily at 70,000 in the next, few weeks, due to the fact that Bitcoin trades 24/7. So we were looking at AI over the weekend as well. Honestly, for you guys in the small group challenge, this has a lot of spread, as you can see. And this was a victim of the tech rotation. So I'd be highly interested in looking at the options on it as a secondary to short-term QQQ swings, right? So as you can see, it was already trading comfortably around the 123s, the 130s, and things of that nature. What I want to look for is for this to rebound to the 131. So with that being said, we could actually look at some April calls around 140 for 200. We'd make only $13 on the spread. Let me pull up my spreadsheet and we'll lay this out. Let the spreadsheet do the math for us basically, and see if it's a better spread play than what we were already looking at. And I don't know how we didn't look at this over the weekend. I think we were just going off of scanners and stuff that I had presented to the team, but we were looking at 16 April 21. Let me do this. Let me go in here and freeze this. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, there it goes. That way I can see my columns. Anyways, so I was looking at, I think we were saying the 140 strike zone. It cost us about 190. We make $17 per dollar it goes up. Current price is trading at 91.25, and we're looking at this to go by April 16th. Man, I mean, this is on a bottom, so this could really take off. As you can see on the daily, it looks strong. Expecting it to at least retest the 131 is what I'll put, just to be realistic about it. So with that being said, we have a $40 spread. We can buy these options now for 190. We could hold this into April for up to 35 days, and we can capture $685 on the small account challenge. So with that being said, I want a vote from you guys if you guys are comfortable in doing this versus the QQQ or any of the other stocks. It's all about the spreads and the profit gains that we can capture. This is the second one that I believe is the most profitable, next to DNMR, which had a $348 spread. Now, the thing you need to consider, and what I was talking about in the Facebook chat, is the time that how aggressive do we want to get these accounts up, and how long will it take to do it in some of these option plays that we're calling. So, I expect this one to jump up to probably, actually, I know it's 190 now. It might jump up above 200 for the actual option, due to the fact that it's up $1.25 at least pre-market. So you can expect this to jump at least $17. Wait, hold on. Am I doing that wrong? It's $13. Excuse me. Let me be correct about it. It's $13 per move. We're still looking at $524. So I expect this to be around 203 going into today, unless it sees some slight pullback going into, which is odd because on TradingView it's showing this as sitting at 89.98. So let me see what TDA is showing me. See some people are hopping in and out. I'm not sure if it's just our regular gang still in here right now or not. But yeah, on TD Ameritrade, or Thinkorswim rather, it's actually trading at those 91.30 levels. So looks like it's trying to rebound. Before I say we hop into this though, let's look at the 1 hour. Let's do our thorough investigation on this before we get our hopes up on it. It looks like it might have some slight pullback, so we might find a better entry on it, unless it rides this EMA moving forward and just bounces off of it. Has some slight consolidation while it compresses right here and bounces, of course. And that being said, something that stands out to me is that $98 price level and how it reacts to those levels too, to confirm whether this is going to continue pushing forward. So right there around the 94.82 actually, to be precise. Hopping into too expensive for my small account. We're only doing 200, right? So we're putting 200 towards it. I think it'll sit right above 200. Even if we bought the next strike point up, you're only making $1 less on the move. You could still buy this 165. Now, I'm not sure if you're dedicating 200 in your account or not, Justin, but that's where we were planning on doing it. And that's why we were planning on doing 200, so it'd give you some give because we were actually looking at doing 100 towards just regular shares on something, and then 100 towards options. But then I started looking at, can I still get into the group challenge? And if so, how can I do it best? All right, so explanation real quick. Julian, basically all you're going to have to do is, all we're doing as individuals, but as a group, individually, we're dedicating $200 out of our own accounts to the side. We're just dedicating it to the choices we make as a group. And we make the same option calls or the same share calls on certain stocks that we vote on. That's what it's really about. But since we don't have the voting system in place, and we still got a lot of things to set up with gaining the ability to track some of this stuff, then I guess I can be making the calls for now, unless you guys want to go ahead and pitch in on your vote. All right, Justin, you can do too. Okay, so I think the 190 that let's see, 140 strike is key. If it goes up above 200, we can move to potentially the 150, which we make $10, $3 less, a dollar up. It does have a less theta on it, and we're paying much less for it too, meaning we can put the other $75 or so. This might go up to like 145 at its peak. We can put the other $55 on like maybe some far out of the money. You like Qqq better? I'm with that too. It looks like the setup's ready to move now, and we can make some of those gains a lot quicker. Okay, so if we were to go for the Qqq, it's only up, fortunately for our sake, it's only up about 17 cents, 18 cents or so pre-market. So we shouldn't see a lot of these be too high going into open. Actually, you should see some of these come down like $20-$30 because of the weekend theta burn on it. So we can actually capture some of these a lot cheaper. We could potentially, if we're looking at it from that standpoint, that's $43 down, 46 or 44, $40. We might be able to capture these 324s at a cheaper price, or the 325s. So those are the ones I'm going to be looking at. And the good thing about it is, I mean, it does have a 20-day, $20 per day theta burn. So we're going to be in and out of this trade by the end of the day. I'm going to be calling it through our Discord channel. Make sure you're on there to get those updates. And I'll also be pushing it through the Facebook channel while we're still getting people set up on Discord that haven't been there before in the channel to keep up with all this. Somebody's trying to call me on Discord. I don't know who this person is, but I will definitely on a live stream. Anyways, sorry, but I'll be calling the move through Discord and Facebook at the same time. I'm gonna build out an alert system specifically for this small group challenge, so I can immediately let you guys know. It'll go at least to the Discord channel for sure, and I can put it in the Facebook page. I don't think I can do it in the group necessarily. So I see a few people hopped off this morning. Typically they stick with us. That's fine. I have no problem with that, but I want to know who's all still here. I can see the Justins are here, but I just want to know who I'm talking to. We're a few minutes going into market open, and I think we're looking at going with the Qqq calls. I want to see where RMO is personally, just real quick, if you guys don't mind. I can look it up on the side if I need to. It's currently trading at 13.79. I want to see how it reacts to that level. It's traded here before. 13.56 is already a level, so I want to see if it stays above there. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like on it. A slight pullback, that's fine. I think it's going to bounce off of those levels. Yeah, it is. So now I want to look at the warrants. We're looking at buying these warrants for it. Which are at 252 right now, but they're looking like they're trying to bounce as well. I want to see how they react. I'm looking at putting $200 on this, $200 on the equity stake. Actually, on the 1 hour, it looks like it might pull back just a little bit. And then 2 hours, $200 on the options. So let me go ahead and look at my option plays on it, and what I'm going to choose with it. Okay. I mean, that's fine, man. I think RMO is a good play. I think it's a safe play. It's a long-term hold. You could hold this thing for 5 years and be okay. Actually, I'm going to be looking towards, it's only up 1 cent going into the pre-market. So I probably put, either do 2 of these right here for the 1750 or just go ahead and put 270 towards the, in the money 1250 calls. I think that'll be my best bet. But I might look further out too as well to lower my theta. I mean, I'm still only losing $3 a day, so it's not really hurting my feelings to hold this. I like the fact that there's a lot of open interest in this trade, though. A lot of people are looking at this, so this is even more to our benefit that a lot of people have all these options on this trade, because there's a lot of open interest in the trade itself, meaning a lot of people expect it to move to the upside versus the downside. As you can see right here, open interest is much lower than what we're seeing over here, so a lot of high expectations of RMO. I think it's a sleeper stock, actually. Enough people aren't paying enough attention to it, so definitely makes me feel a lot better. We should be going into market open here shortly. It looks like I'm going to be buying 270 these April 32 270 calls on it, doing 200 and you know what else I wonder if warrants have options. Nah, it's not that good. If only, I'd be calling the hell out some warrants. But anyways, I'm gonna be doing $270 towards options, 12.5 options on RMO. I think 200 shares, and then 200 warrants. But of course, I'm not just gonna hop in this blindly. I'm gonna go ahead and let it open up and see how it opens up. Don't ever let pre-market make you think that a stock is going to do something, because it will burn you if you hop into something pre-market and then it opens up and reverses. So just be careful in that regard. I've been burned too many times by that. Just in making calls, not even, I don't typically trade pre-market at all. Looking at our liquidity scanner, though, I do want to share that with you guys, for the simple fact that we have, I want to show you what's making the most money this morning. That being, and these are stocks, I believe, between 25 cents and $25. So that's all you're going to see. Otherwise, if I had this wide open as far as price ranges for stock prices, you'd see like your typical Teslas, Facebooks, Amazons, and stuff, and you'd miss all the green, the gold. So GE, SEEL, AAL, AMC, and EBON are the top 5. Well, actually, you have Ford and NLSP. They're all seeing above $1 billion in transactions alone this morning. And then all the way down, ENTX, RIDE, the VIX, F-Cells, seeing some movement. It's above $18. Man, I wish I held those calls on it. ICE is seeing some movement. XM, Macy's, VALE, SOS is up 10% pre-market. Topping 663. It's been sideways churning around those price ranges, though, so I'd really like to see it above $7. Alpha, or APHA, that's Aferia, OCGN, Mevis, MVIS, SNDL seeing some movement. Seeing about $340 million in transactions this morning alone. Still sitting at 142 though. So you have Workhorse, WKHS, NNDM, BB. So these are all at least above 300 million in transactions so far, and what I want to do is I'm going to create a watch list. It's not letting me do it. Let me do it this way. I need to do it before the market opens. I gotta hurry. Save as watch list. Save as. I'm gonna miss it. Uh-oh. 4 seconds. I'm just gonna export this thing. How about that? Bam. Just do it that way. Downloads. Put it in my downloads for now. Alright, market's open. Let's see. I'm not gonna hop in my calls immediately. I'm gonna let the things play out. Like I said, looks like those warrants still sitting at 252. Qqq bounced up to 1355. I honestly think now is the time to buy this, but let me confirm that. We could see some slight pullback on the 10-minute, giving us a better opportunity into the trade. I'm actually going to pull this over here so I can watch it. The SPY bounced up to 394.27, so we could see stocks picking up. But we're going to keep watching this a little bit before we just hop into it. And that's actually why I have a layout like this, so I can watch this on the 15-minute. These are, when I get ready for my entries, this is how I set it up. I'm looking at it on the 15-second, the 1 minute, and then the 5, and then down here I look at it on the 10, just so I can catch my momentum swing. So see, you see that breakdown there. I'm expecting this to bounce off the 315, and that'll be my entry. So, but I'm going to use the 15-second to determine the reversal of the 1 minute, and then I expect the 5-minute to go a little bit red itself. Let's see, let me maximize this because I really don't need the 10-minute momentum just yet, at this point at least. So I'm getting ready to buy it. I'm just not buying it right now, guys. For you guys in the small account challenge, once we make this call, then we'll move forward. I see some more people hop back in here with us. If you can let me know who's all here, I'd be glad to know. We're looking at making some calls on the Qqq, and to look at some of those price levels, like I said, they did break down just a little bit for us, so that's fine. If the Qqq, oh, it bounced up immediately, so but on the 1 minute it's showing a pullback, so I expect that to kind of reverse, continue reverse just a little bit, not much, probably to the $15 level, 315s, before we hop into this too fast. I don't want to get in here and get caught. Seeing a lot of selling come in too, so it's something to pay attention to on it. There you go, bounce down as expected. I think the 5 minutes going to weigh down on these lower time frames a little bit more, as you can see. Just waiting patiently for our entry on, I think we should be able to buy at least the 326 calls, but we might be able to get in on this 325, so just be ready for that. If it hits below 199, I think we can go ahead and hop in, but I want to make sure that it's reversing before we do too at the same time. Good morning, sorry I'm late, ready to get going. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, man? Good morning, welcome. I want to see this below 315 just a little bit for us. Let me, looks like I'm messing up here. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way too. There it goes. All right, so we broke down. Let it break down. That's what we want. Better entry. As you can see, we're below 196, so get your options ready. And I'm going to find the reversal on this for us actively. I still think it might weigh down just a little bit. We're going to see a double RSI bounce. It's going to pull back a little bit, so don't get caught in that rebound. And I'm watching the RSI bounce off the 1 minute. Still around 203. Just be ready to buy it if we're going to do this as a team. About to break $2. Okay, come on down a little bit for us. No, that's not what we wanted. All right, get ready to buy it, guys. Just playing with my emotions right now. Missed it. I still think it's going to come back down a little bit though. It might not be. So what we will do is we can buy the 326s next. If it doesn't rebound, I don't think it is. So let's go ahead and buy the 326 for 180 strike prices. March 26th, that is. But this might pull back like I thought, so hold on. It might do the double RSI bounce that I expected before it actually runs. So just be patient a little bit longer. I want to see what it's doing right here, because we might find a better entry. There it goes, bounced. All right, so 325, we're back here watching that one. It's back below $2. It's gonna bounce down a little bit more, and then we're gonna enter. Come on, bounce down. There it goes, boom. And There we go. I'm buying it right here. Yep. There's my phone app. Make sure my order fills. Did it fill my order? I'm gonna be mad if it didn't. It did not. It's currently at 204. I missed it myself. Come on. Give me that entry back. I'm actually going to go ahead and spend the additional $7 myself. I'm not sure if you guys were able to get into it. It was a very short-lived moment. Yeah, and I don't think it's reversing, so if you weren't able to hop into it, you can definitely hop into it at for the 326 calls still. This is a Qqq that we're watching. I got my option calls in it. I actually paid a little bit more than what I was suggesting you guys hop in there, but you know, that's why we have to be on the needle and ready to go. I bought mine for $2.12, so 10 cents above. Not much. I just dedicated $12 more to it. We were doing the small account challenge, Jeff. Of course, DPW is up today. Finally, it's actually positive since I opened the contract. I got in at 205. Okay, cool. So at least we're hopping in here together. You'll see some slight pullbacks on it. I'm hoping that it's not gonna do a double RSI bounce on us. You might see a pullback and hit that RSI again, or this could just continue taking off. So we probably could have bought this for, you know, much cheaper at the $200 range. If you weren't able to get into it, you should have a second opportunity to do so coming up here, which is fine. I still ultimately, looking at this on the 1 hour, this is still showing signs of taking off. Compression here. I was looking at this last night in depth. I think it's going to go back at least to the 320s over the course of this week. Got 325 at 185. 325 of what? Oh, okay. 326 at 185. Okay, cool. Got you. I see what you're saying. All right, cool. I'm actually going to go get a refill for my coffee because, like I said, I'm still not awake. But we're going to actively watch that, and then I'll be working on my RMO trades on the side here. RMO just spiked. I broke $14. I should have. Man, I wanted to buy my options below $14, man, for RMO. That really irritates me that I was not able to get in there. If you're in the small account challenge, this might be your only opportunity to get into these trades at these low price points before this continues taking off going into the market. Now, while we're looking at that, I want to point out something. I tracked the markets right at 7:45 this morning. As you can see, everything is up except for crude. The VIX is down, copper's down. We want to see that. U.S. equities are running. I'm going to go ahead and track this for the market open and where we're currently at. Like I said, if you're trying to get into these calls with us, now would probably be the best opportunity. As let me go back to the Qqq. You probably could have bought this. We all could have probably bought it a little bit below $2. So don't panic. I expected this to happen. The RSI bounce, double RSI bounce that I was telling you about on the 1 minute. I expect it to bounce off of this now. If you weren't able to get into the trade at this point, you can now for 195. I personally might buy a second one myself. Outside of the small account challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That way I can average down mine a little bit. And now I'm looking for my RMO calls because that thing just popped 1405 on me. And the options on it are up not that much. It's at 300. I was gonna pay 350 on the thing. Like I said too, don't freak out about the Qqq.
This was expected. And it says that I own that second one. Cool. All right, cool. So I got in there. That allowed me to average mine down just a little bit. I'm not sure if everybody else was able to get in there. I'm sitting at 203, so I'm still above with you guys. Some of you guys are above that. I want to let it do its thing. We're about to go RSI bounce, so it's going to pull back a little bit before it continues pushing forward. Don't freak out. It's typical. RMO's back below 395. Yeah, let me get in there. Buying a $300 call. So what I'll do is, I was only expecting to spend $800 on this. What I will do is some math in my head, of course. That'll allow me to put 300 on the option call, or it's at 285 now. So I might watch for this to pull back just a little bit before I hop in it. For you that are in that Qqq call with this, don't freak out. I don't want people panic selling on me too soon. Let me look at RMO a little bit and see what it's doing on the side. 30 minute, and then the 1 hour. Yeah, RMO is about to take off, guys. For you guys that are in RMO, I'm gonna go ahead and buy these. Oh, did I just pay too much for it? Oh, I only paid $271 for it. That's not bad. $20 less than where it was at earlier. Is that what I paid for it? Yep, $271. So that'll give me about $500 to play with on equity. So I'll buy. Let me do some math real quick here. What is that? $500? No, $250 a piece. Where are the warrants at too? I want to know that as well. What are the price points on it? $260. They didn't jump too high today, but I expect these things to take off. I really want to experiment with these things. Let's see. How do I want to do this? This divided by 1386 right now. I can buy 18 shares, and then with the warrants, I can buy 260. That divided by 260. So I'm gonna buy 96 warrants. It popped up a little bit on me. Let me do this a little differently. 1393, 263. That divided by this. That divided by this. Now, after I'm done with this and making my own trades, if you guys don't mind giving me a minute, looks like I can probably get in on those warrants a little cheaper. Oh, nope, they just took off. So I'm gonna add 265, or I'll go with 263. I'm gonna see if I can get my limit order in. 95 of them. Go ahead and pop that there. And then the actual equity share. I'm just gonna hop into that thing. I'm actually putting all the profits that I've made into RMO at these price levels. So 13. Oh man, it just hit 14 on me. Nope. 14. I could probably get in at 13.99 actually. For 17 share. I'll go ahead and buy it. Oh man, it just took off. Stop doing that. 14. So I can buy at least 17 shares. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it at 14.10. I'm not even worried because I know this thing's gonna do its thing, man. Go ahead and let me in there. Somebody sell it to me. I'm buying it at market price. Sell it to me already. They don't want to do it. Okay, so I got in 17 shares at 412. I'm not even tripping because I'm going to be pretty much buying up RMO shares with all of my profits. I'm already up $11 on my warrants. I'm already up $8 on my call. I'm just down about 40 cents on my long-term equity shares, so I'm not tripping about that. I'm up down $10 on my Qqq, so let's focus back on it. So it did that double RSI bounce that I told you about. We're about to see a breakout now, okay? So this is why I told you guys not to freak out, because I already... Which call are you doing? RMO calls I did April 16th, 1250 calls. So I'm deep in the money already, about $2, about to be full $2 once it hits 14.50. I spent about 271 on the option. I have 32 days for this to play out. So for the most part, I'm up green for the day. DPW was green, but has since pulled down. I might go ahead and get out of that trade because it's not performing like I needed to, and it's holding up money that I could be using elsewhere. I have about $546 to play with for the rest of the day if I even choose to, which I might wait to find some other opportunities on. For the most part, I'm up $18 on my warrants, $10 on overall on my call, and up $1.52.7 on my equity position on it. You can see the QQQ is currently about to break out on the 1 minute. I know you see that slight pullback, but don't stress about it. Let me pull this watch list out of the way. That'll give us some more real estate to watch this on. All right, so let me get back to the chat. I got in at 327, 148. All right, Johnny got in. Okay, cool. Which is fine. Like I said, don't freak out with these slight pullbacks. I think this is just a mid-morning thing. The markets are looking green overall with U.S. equities. International is looking good. The NASDAQ is currently only down 0.3%, so that's okay. Nothing too stressful. It looks like my DAX is not working though, so it's not including it in the U.S. equities. That's really weird. But the VIX actually picked up 3.62% for the day. It's actually down about 0.5% since this morning at 7:40. That's good. Copper's down about 0.11%, nothing big. But as you can see, we are seeing some slight rotation in this morning going into the morning, but I'm not really stressed out. I'm only currently down $5 on the option calls. We will have a stop loss on this if it doesn't perform like we expect it to, but as you can see, we're already back up to the 531s, 520s. It's going to build off of these EMAs right here and then break out. You might see it pull down just a little bit, but on the 5 minute, you can see we're propping up for a bounce right there on the MACD. Let's look at the 10 minute as well and see what we're looking like there. Now, of course, the longer time frames will correlate and follow suit. So I'm going to make that my 1 hour time frame right here. This is my 30 minute because I expect this to continue moving like I expected. I'm going to make this my 10 minute. And typically what I do is I alternate on my first sell between the 15 seconds, the 1 minute. As you can see, are all going green above the EMAs we wanted to see, in the 5 minute. Now, if I'm very comfortable in a trade, I'm currently green across the board. I'm up $23 on my warrants. I'm up $18 on $16 on my calls for RMO, $2.25 on my equity hold long term for 17 shares. DPW finally went flat. I'm still down $3.20, which I want to collect. I'm only down $5 on my QQQs. It's probably because they saw some slight resistance moving into there. For the time being, now that we have the small account group challenge situated, are there any other stocks that you guys want to look at personally? I don't want to focus on this for the entire session. My kids are out for spring break, which was why we woke up a little bit later this morning. So I have pretty much all day to sit with you guys. It's raining, so I can't go work my first company if I wanted to. So I have pretty much all day to sit with you guys. If there's any stocks you want to look at, we can. I want to keep that sitting there so we can always refer back to it with us having some active trades on it. Currently should be green on those calls. All right, so we're up. I'm up $5 now, so it's jumped. I'm up about 1% on the entire trade. My warrants are doing very well for RMO, $24, $23 overall for RMO outside of the warrants, about $20 bouncing, up $50 for the day. Mind you, I only need to make $140 or $104 a day, about 108, just to give or take some give. 108 to 114 is comfort levels for me, so I don't necessarily have to hold these things as long as everybody else is. Of course, with the small account challenge, I'm going to be holding those to the very end and making sure we get maximum profit out of the calls. But what we need to see now is we need to see QQQ bounce above 316. The SPY, let me pull it up here just so I have it, just so I can keep an eye on it, because it weighs down on the rest of the markets for sure. So definitely something to watch.
Let's see. DPW. I'm getting out of DPW, man. I just don't like how it's performing, and I can use that money elsewhere to actually make some money. So I'm good. They owe me $135 though overall. I had some tax on it, so I've been saying 150 for the most part. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to step away for a quick second because I'm still in the process of waking up for the day. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee and step outside real quick, and I'll be right back. I will keep this on QQQ so you guys can watch it. Look at that bounce, bang. Now we're already up at 315.60s. I expected to be able to blow past these levels moving forward. How about Live Nation? I work in the industry, and can you tell me in June my industry is supposed to uptick? Curious on thoughts on how that might move. Live Nation? What's the ticker symbol? Just bought 100 more warrants. Man, I'm glad you showed me that, Jeff, or you know, brought my attention to it, by the way. I appreciate it, man. I owe that to you. It's profiting for me. So Live Nation stock. Is that LYV? We can look at it. LYV. Yeah, LYV. And what I'll do is I'll add it to the coffee and stock watch list moving forward. Let me go back. Alright, so I'm doing pretty well for myself today. Speaking for myself, I'm up about $80. The options we bought are up about $20 now. Glad to see that. My warrants are doing. Alright, let me see, where are my warrants at? My warrants, I've made $26 off my warrants, $28 off of my RMO and my calls for it, and my equity stake. Those are going to be combined because of how TOS shows them. So that's why I keep getting like caught up on it. To look at LYV, though, to answer your question, man. Let's see. Of course, I am watching everything up here for the QQQ, so don't worry. I'm keeping my eye on this all day. For sure. We're above 316. Bam. That's what we wanted. See what I'm saying? Boom. Money. I'm looking for 100% on this trade, by the way, guys. On QQQ, I'm currently up 10%. So I expect this to jump another, whatever, about $380 is potential. Not, that might be overwhelming, but being up 10%, expecting it to jump 50%. So another $140 maybe we can win off this trade. I'm currently up $124 for the day. In my own personal small account challenge, of course, I put $200 towards what we're doing together. I'm about to clear 2,000. I want to clear 4K by the end of the week in the small account challenge for myself, and it's really a personal goal, but I wanted to use it as an example for you guys to see how easy it is to start with nothing and make something out of an account. I'm of course above my daily limit, so our requirements. I could actually hop out of this trade, but if I wanted to. But it looks like we're green from here, so I'm not going to do it just yet. SPY is having issues getting above that 394.50, by the way, guys. This is what I was talking about before. Anytime you see it spike up to those all-time highs, even if it doesn't hit it, you're going to see some consolidation in this. So I can actually do some SPY puts and make some money on the downside from the SPY if I really felt like it was going to pull back. On the 30-minute, it looks like it's setting up for a continued pullback. On the 5-minute, it looks like it's setting up for a pullback. And on the 10-minute, the 1 hour, it's already going red, but it's right above that top 13 EMA, and I don't want to risk it, but I could definitely do some puts here and feel comfortable about it because I know it has little headspace to the top side and a lot more room to the bottom, if anything. It's going to take a lot of liquidity going into the markets. I know that the stimulus just came through, and a lot of people were expecting this to really just blow up because of that, but I think the stimulus was already priced in up until it was actually signed by the House and signed by Biden. So I don't really see it having the effects on the markets that everybody expected. A lot of people expect a lot of that liquidity to come back into the markets,
I don't expect that to happen either, because a lot of people have been trying to catch up on bills. So majority of the people that do have money aren't just sitting around, they're actually going to work, so they don't have the time to sit and watch the markets. There's just a lot of things that I feel like are going to work against that liquidity actually hitting the market. So the only way you'll see it come into the markets is by it actually hitting the economy, which is a longer process, because then you have to wait on earnings reports and stuff like that, and a lot of those are 3 months out as we're moving out of earning seasons for this quarter. So that's my thesis on it. I just wanted to explain that. Not that I was trying to be a Debbie Downer or a pessimist on the markets and worry people. I'm just being realistic ultimately. SNDL did something, man. Let's see. I haven't forgot about Live Nation. I'll go back to it. I just want to see. A lot of people have been looking for SNDL to move. It bounced above the 155. What you want to see is make sure it keeps support above that 155. If it does find support there, then you're in a buy zone actually for it to bounce to the 228s. But I really hope this works for a lot of people. I know a lot of people in our group are caught up in it, and I want you guys to make your money out of it. That's why I want to take a break to look at it real quick, John. But back to Live Nation. Let me pull in my indicators real quick. For one thing that stands out about Live Nation is the simple fact that it's already traded back above pre-pandemic levels. That's strong. That's a strong signal. And if you were to do a trend line based off of pre-pandemic levels, this would probably fall right back in place like the pandemic never happened. So I find strength in this company and what it's doing, whatever it's doing, in order to stay above this. So I'm going to pull my indicators out so we can focus on the chart, and we'll try to identify that long-term trend and where it's currently trading at. So really you want to focus on the where this long-term trend hits the price points the most, which is right about there, right? So then you just copy that, and you'll find your channel that it's trading in, and you slide it up to the top point, and identifying where it's tapped at its peaks. You want to identify the peaks, of course, but where it's tapped the most. So this is our long-term trend. You can expect us to consolidate just a little bit and probably bounce off these 85 levels and continue trading higher. Good long-term stock. For it to recover this way, you were buying it almost 4x below on discount, man. Like, nice. If you were to buy this back in March of last year, you'd already be up about 200-300%. So that's my look on LYV. But like I said, guys, we're doing just an update real quick. We're up $34, depending on where you got in, about $30 to $40 on our Qqq calls, up $40 on my RMO warrants, up $43 on my equity, stock, and calls combined. So I want to see where Tesla is too, though, because that's going to be a large player in this RMO play. It's been weighing down heavily on RMO. And it's retested back above that 395. I want to see this go back to 884. If this goes back to 884, we can see RMO go back to at least the $18 to $20 price ranges alone, just off of Tesla pulling off of that power, downward power that it's been doing. But like I said, guys, I need more coffee. I need to refreshen up a little bit. I'm going to step away for just a second. We'll go back to our Qqq calls. We're back. We're sitting right above 316. It looks like we might be trying to find some support above those levels. Might break down just a little bit, but looks pretty strong for the most part. Of course, this is on the 1 minute, so we'll see some pullback. But I think once we finally do break above that 316, we'll break out. But like I said, I'll be right back. Sorry for the noise. Just cleared $2,000 on my own personal small account challenge. Of course, some of that being $200 that I'm spending with you guys on our group challenge. We should be up about close to 25% already. So we're already making some headway with that. I didn't want to hold you guys too much longer, but looking pretty good. I hope to use the options on the markets in order to speed up this process a little bit better. Sorry, had my YouTube playing outside to see if you guys were hopping in the comments or anything like that. But also, what I'm going to be doing in the meantime, while I'm watching the QQQ right here above us, we're having some issues breaking above the 613 or 31630s. But look at that breakout; it just broke out, so we should be up just a little bit more there. But I'm going to take some time for people that aren't participating in the small group challenge. I'm going to take some time to actually do some scans with you guys for spending this morning with me. I don't mind giving you some alerts. I'm going to look mainly at options. So, you know, I've really wanted to segment how we've done this, where we're basically, first we were identifying our key levels of support, resistance, our price ranges that we're trading in, practice that for like a week. And then I started showing you guys how I utilize options in market downturns and stuff like that. So now that we have that established, I want to go a little bit more into how options work and more in depth. And I wanted to do actual tutorial videos, but I think doing it live is much more beneficial. So something that's standing out to me is NEO. NEO has seen about already $108 million in transactions going into market open. This is not pre-market. So what I'm looking at with NEO is potentially buying some calls on it. First, we need to do our analysis on it. Tesla breaking up above 700. That's what we wanted to see. I've been saying it needs to. You could actually buy some Tesla calls if you wanted to. But looking at NEO, let me bring in my fundamentals. What am I talking about? My indicators. See where it's trading. I might be a little bit late buying these calls, but I'm okay with it because I actually think it's going to go up to, you know, once it breaks above 46.57, it's a buy zone for me. And then I'm looking for exit probably around the $54 price ranges. So I'm comfortable with buying some NEO options. I'll pull it up on the trade grid for you, with you. And it going in that direction. Let me pull my my indicators out one more time. And let's see what the trend's looking like. Just this midterm trend is what I'll call it. That's about right. Here, I'll just do it this way. If it will click. About right there. So we can see this top back up pretty quickly if Tesla continues to move. Like I said, it could bring up the entire EV market back up on its own just from pushing up. So I'm looking at potentially buying some NEO calls around the $54 price range. Short term. Looking at the April 16th specifically, I could probably buy these for $350. It makes a little bit less than I'm comfortable with. I could go for the 140s for the $60 calls. It's a lot of open interest in it. Make $20 on the way up, but once we get closer to in the money, I'll start making that $50 a trade. So I'm really not sure. I can make $10 more if I spend about $60-70 more. So might go ahead and do that, you know, with the 55 calls. I think I'm gonna hop in there real quick. I want to see this below $46 real quick though, if it'll even go. Let me pull it up over here. Looks like I'm gonna be doing some SPY puts, by the way, at the same time. So I'm trying to hurry up and make these decisions real time and keep it moving. I see some people are falling out on the live stream. If you're still here, will you let me know who's here? I might go ahead and buy these 135s just so I have some more playing room on other calls, because I see Palantir's doing well. I want to see it bounce. I want to get into, if I can get into that at least at $2, I will, or $200, I will, but I don't think it's going to come down enough for me to do so. So I'll probably be satisfied with buying it where it's at. I'm just letting it pull back a little bit. It's currently at 45. Let me do my entry like I was doing it before. Yeah, so it's bouncing up. I'm gonna go ahead and initiate that 210. Already, Justin, I know you're sticking with me, man. Justin, other Justin here too. Just bought Neo calls for $60. Let me see if it filled my order though. Yeah, it just filled my order. I bought it for 210, expecting this to go to back to $50-$60 level unless Tesla bites me in the ass and pulls back on me. All right, Johnny Blue still here. I'm looking at Palantir next, and then potentially doing some SPY call puts. Palantir sitting at $27. Potential entry coming in if I'm gonna hop in there. Might buy these $30 calls right here into April. Gives me about 30 days for it to play out. Only lose $4, making about 41 cents. I could buy these 22s, these 222s for $29 strikes, make close to my $50 want, what I go after. But I'm just watching it first because it might pull back just a little bit down below $27, and I'll be able to hop in there. As you can see, we are finding resistance on QQQ around the 316.28. It did bounce above it. I think it's going to keep riding though, so I'm not really concerned too much. I'll let you guys know if we exit the trade at all. Just an update on that accord. I actually feel a little, even though I woke up late this morning, I feel a little bit more lively in my stream today. I know sometimes I might be boring, but I'm just straight to the point. I'm not any type of I'm not a YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular person that's trying to share this information with you guys, and so I'm not one for cameras at all. But anyways, let's see how much I have to play with. Where's my... I have about $487 to play with. I can go ahead and get ready to buy these Palantir calls. Once it gets below $27 is when I'm going to buy it, if it even goes that low. So I'm watching it though. It's showing some slight, but I'll show you guys what I'm seeing. Back below 316 on QQQs, but like I said, I think this is going to run. PLRT though, this is what I'm looking at on it. Let me close this out, and anytime I'm looking for an entry, I'm on the lower time frames, right? Because I pretty much already know. I might have to go ahead and hop in this. Give me a second. We're at 26.93. I can buy this for 209. Getting it. I had to go ahead and buy it, man. I don't think I'm gonna find a better entry on this. It might pull back a little bit on me though, so I might have rushed myself to get it. But I don't know just yet. I might be wrong. This could definitely do something called a small MACD, go red, and then bounce again. A lot of sentiment on PLRT. Let me pull this out real quick. By the way, on PLRT, or PLTR, excuse me. You bought the equities, and did you buy the shares or an option on it, Justin? But what I want to show you is how I was looking at it. I was looking at it 1 hour. I had the 1 hour there, but I was looking at it from the 5 minute. I was looking here at the 1 minute, and then 15-second here. I had my indicators pulled up too. So this is what I'm looking at, the curve. Now, it did a double RSI bounce. I feel like this is going to pull down just a little bit. Well, yeah, options or yeah, equity shares. But I don't see it. Options. Word. Cool. So I don't see it going below 26.86. It has a lot of momentum in it. It might pull back just a little bit temporarily, just like we saw with the QQQ, where it did the double RSI bounce, and people that missed the first opportunity to buy into the option was able to actually get back into it. As you can see on the 15-second though, I think it's going to really bounce and send the 1 minute up, which is going to pull the 5 minute. You'll start seeing the algos kick in. $30 strike for 16 April. Good play. I think it's going to hit that before that time frame, by the way. As far as our option calls, I'm still up $50 myself on QQQ. My warrants are still up $36. RMO, I'm looking at my options being up $30, and my Romeo calls, my equity share, excuse me, is up $5. My PLTR options are up $150 already, and my Neo calls are currently down $250. Next thing I was looking at is potential SPY puts, just because it's at these all-time high levels. I might get burned off of this, but I'm looking at the momentum on it, and it's just not showing strong momentum. and I'm going to pull up my longer time frames here so I can gauge it. But I'm going to put what I have right here is the actual entry into it. So it's the lower time frames is what I mean by that. And then so let me analyze this just a little bit more. On the 30-minute, it's going to red. 1 hour, it's already been working on red. It's riding above the EMA, so that's why I was kind of concerned with it. Looks like we might have a small bounce, and then we might see an EMA rejection right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and have this ready. Back above 2,000. Qqq calls are at $56, $59 for me, so we're well above our 25% for most people. Should be at least. I'm gonna let this bounce just a little bit, and then I'm looking at some put options on it. I typically, when I do my put options, I only go 7 days out, so I'm looking at March 22nd calls, puts on it, and I have about 277 to spin. I'm gonna probably max that out at 391 if I can even hop in there. So I'm gonna let it bounce just a little bit more. Let me go shut my dog up. I might have to wait to shut my dog up because I might miss an opportunity. Alright, so it's maxing out right now on the 15. I'm going to go ahead and hop in those put options. I'm buying it for 272, so pretty decent price entry for it. I could have just rushed it, but I feel like it's peaking, so I'm going to go ahead and hop in there as well. Up 164 for the day. SPY calls already down $1, which is typical. Neo might be burning me a little bit. $67 on our Qqq calls. It's still doing pretty well. Looking at it, we're about to top 317. So, you know, we saw some issues around the 316.28s. I couldn't find support there, but as soon as it retapped those levels, that's when it bounced. Looking at the 1 hour, it looks pretty strong for the roundup, like I was expecting. So I'm expecting this to do pretty well for us. We might be able to get 50% intraday before the day even finishes. So let me check the chat, see what we're talking about. 325 strike for 26 March on what? No, you didn't, because I got 325 strike for March 26. So 30 strike for 16 April. I got you. Did I get the? No, you're good, Justin. We got the same one. I think our price. I bought a second one actually to average down a little bit, and it actually allowed me to get in around where you got in at 205. I'm at 203, so not doing pretty bad. Neo is burning me right now. My SPY puts are working. As you can see, it broke back below 394. I think that's ultimately going to send it down heavy. So I bought my second thing that I bought was SPY puts for 391 March 22nd, 7 days out. I paid 272 for it. It's currently at 283, so I'm up $13 already. I am at $2,012 on my account. I want to hit 4K by the end of the week. So currently up about 150 overall for the day because Neo's pulling down on me for some reason. Let's do an update on it. As you can see, look at that SPY. I bought it at the opportune time, precise. You can see the 1 minute's breaking down, EMA rejection, 5 minutes coming down a little bit. Let me see where the 10 is, and from here I'm going to switch my time frames back to my longer time frames because I do feel like it being at these higher levels, it's going to retrace. And I said that yesterday, last night actually. Once the SPY hits these all-time high levels, you typically see some consolidation before it goes any higher above it. I'm not saying that the SPY can't go to 400. I'm just not seeing signs that it is going to today. As you can see, we're seeing some consolidation right here on the MACD and some volume loss. It's been low volume on it anyways, with it being so high. A lot of people aren't buying into it. QQQ still doing pretty well at 316.54. ultimately I wanted to get above $2,000 a day so I could hop out of here if I want it. I'm not. So, for the most part, I don't have any more plain capital for the day, but you guys might. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So that's why. All right, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that with the QQQs. I'm actually up 13% overall, but I have 2 of the contracts, and that's why it's different. I'm sorry. Just to provide some clarity there. But I did that because I bought in so late. I missed my opportunity. I didn't buy in late. My order didn't fill. To go back to the watch list with you guys, though, so we can check some other shares that other people might be interested in for the day. Let's see. These are currently trades that are booming. So Qqq, we can have a look at it. I'm going to just open a new tab real quick. Actually, I'm going to put up all of my tabs. This is where it gets gritty, right? You start getting into all these different trades. You got to keep up with all of them, and it can be a headache doing that. Fortunately, I have 5 different screens. I could be looking at 5 different things at one time, and keeping up. I know a lot of people don't have that type of trading rig set up, so hopping into a bunch of these like I am can be an issue. RMO above 14, sitting at 14.37 right now. Looking at it on the 1 minute here. Let me pull it up on the 5. Let me pull it up on the 10. Let me pull it up on the 30. I want to see my 1 hour ultimately. So, yeah. So RMO bounced for the simple fact that we broke above 1356. And Tesla's moving. So what I'm looking at now is, let's have a look at our QQQ, see how it's performing. Let me put the 5 minute over here, put the 10 minute right here so we can see our longer term momentum swings that we're looking at. As you can see, this is what really intrigued me about the QQQ, is that 10 minute was folded on the MACD, and then 30 minute there, 1 hour there. Cool. And ultimately on the 1 hour. So, you know, we'll see some volatility in it where it'll pick up and pull back and pick up and pull back. But, of course, if it goes back down below to those $315 levels, then we might be pulling out of this. That would be my stop loss, is where you bought in at. Currently a little bit below 2,000 right now myself. Still up 118 for the day. My only loser right now is Neo, which I need to pull it up. So I got RMO over here, SPY right there. SPY put's working to my advantage right now. QQQ, I guess I can put my QQQs up here. And that way, any stocks that we're looking at that guys might be interested in outside of all of this can be right here. So this is propping up to bounce. This is Qqq. It broke out actually. Looks like after hours, due to their earnings report on the 15th. Is today the 15th? It is the 15th. Okay, so this broke out pre-market actually. So I expect this to actually consolidate a little bit more. I have my QQQ, SPY, RMO, and Neo over here. So I was saying earlier, I may have rushed into Neo a little bit, trying to catch it on that dip, but I feel pretty comfortable where I got in at. So let me do 5 minute, of course 10 minute, 30 minute down here, and see where it's at and what we're looking at. And then I want Tesla to be listed as well so I can see it. Sitting flat around 105 for the day. Still above my minimum to be here with you guys for free. Neo's really weighing down on my account though. I'm not liking it at all. And I only went there is because the only reason I went with Neo is because Tesla is doing pretty well. Staying above that 700 level, sitting at like 708. As far as my expectations of Tesla, I see Tesla going at like 750. So ultimately, your RMOs are going to be doing well. Your Neos, if you got in there with me, it's going to be doing well. SNPR, sure. Actually, I'm going to kill some of this. It's weighing down on my processor again. SNPR. Otherwise, give me an update on how you guys are doing, what your portfolios are looking like on this small account challenge. Looks like I'm doing pretty well on. Oh, we're back below 316 on QQQ. What's going on? What are we doing? Give me a second. Let me reanalyze this real quick. I want that on the 10-minute. I need this on the 30. See what's going on here. In the 1 hour. Well, it looks like you might be able to re-enter JDub on QQQ. It's pulling down a little bit for you. It's 50 cents above where we bought it at, though. Well, we bought it in like the 1480s, 1490s. Some people only were able to fill the order around the $15 range. I'm currently monitoring it at the top. That's why I kind of took a break. So look, let me open this up while I'm watching that above. Spies pulling down. Let me see where the markets are real quick. I need to track them. Yeah, we're seeing some slight pullback from market open is what I'm seeing. It's currently 9:42, about an hour, so that's cool. I tracked the markets last night. It was about what is that, 9:11, just so I can have something to base it off of. We're still green overall, as you can see right there. It's our overall score. I stayed in RMO since like 80% of my count was in it. Sold OGI for a nice profit and pushed that into RMO as well. First thing, up 20% on AZS. Looks like we're about to round off on the QQQ pullback. So if you're going to get into a JDub, I can look at the option chain real quick to see where you could probably spend your 200. And I think it's going to be like the 326, 327 calls. Let's see. Oh man, I forgot I was supposed to be getting into that AAB with the rest of the gang. It looks like you might be able to buy these same option calls that we got, the 325 March 26 calls for QQQ. It's currently at 306. Some of us paid 206. Some of us paid like 205, 207 for it anyways. So if you were to hop into it now, you'd just be spending like $7 extra above our small account, which is not bad. But it's currently at 206, so you can definitely hop in there. Let me see where my account's at. Neo really burning me, dude. If I lose any more on this than where it's at, then I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of this thing because it's not performing. Although Tesla's coming down just a little bit, but overall still doing pretty well. Above $700. Ultimately, $695 is where we wanted to see it above. So JDub, currently at 203. Currently at 2. I'm actually down a little bit on mine, about $2. JDub, here's your re-entry if you're gonna get into it. Currently below $2 for whoever wasn't able to get the QQQ calls for March 26, 325 strikes. It's about to round off now. Keep in mind too, sorry, the wifey's waking up. Give me a second. Seems like my daughter's waking up for the time being. SPY's still pulling down as expected. It's not pulling down as hard as I wanted to. currently up on that SPY put for $16. RMO warrants are up $30. RMO equity and call are up $30 combined. Down $14 on my Neo calls, which is really bothering me. I'm not gonna lose more than $20 on it, which is like 10%. About $21 is my 10% sell threshold on it. So if it keeps pulling down on me, I'm gonna get out of it. Let's see. Tesla is pulling back just a little bit, so that's why we're seeing, you might see RMO pull back a little bit. Qqq was just going positive. I'm not sure if you were able to get in there, J-Dub, but it's definitely available to do so. It's still trading around the $2 to $2.05 range. We'll make $25 for every dollar it goes up, so we should be, if we can get to 320, then it's or 319 even, it's a guaranteed $100 on the trade. Can you explain again? First time buying options. So my suggestion to you would be, if you're going to get in on the small account challenge, is go to the option chain. What platform do you use? That's what's going to make a difference here. Freaking Neo, it's going to pull down on me. $3 above my my sell price. We're seeing some market pullback, but I think the market's going to keep, for the most part, going to keep pushing up, unless the SPY decides to weigh down on the rest of the market. So let me see where the 10-year is. So it's actually pulled down. That should open up the markets to push up. The SPY is only pulling back due to the fact that it's at these high levels already anyways. But it's that probably might be weighing down on a lot of what we're looking at. I expected the Qqq to bounce though. Basically, look into your options, J-Dub. You're going to look for March 26th on Qqq. I don't even know anything about Robinhood. Anybody else use Robinhood that can help explain that to him? I use Thinkorswim, TDA Ameritrade. So wherever you go in your option chain, your options, look up the Qqq, look for options on it, and look for, it should have an expiration date, and under that expiration date it should have a strike point, and you can either call or do a strike, I believe, on how it works. So you're going to do a call, which is currently under $2 right now, so you can buy into it, and it's rounding off, so your window is closing pretty quickly here, to hop in here. It's already back above $2, so 1 minute showing reversal. What this pullback is going to show us though is our midday trend line that we can follow throughout the trade. And I'm actively going to trade this how I trade it with you guys, so you can kind of see what I'm doing in order to make my determinations. And I want to let you all know that there's going to be times in this where you're like, oh no, I'm about to pull out type situation, because you might think it's peaking or you might think it's falling out, but really it's not. If you look at the 1 hour, we're still set up to bounce heavy, and heavy up to the 320s where we found our last resistance, and that's where we're going after a $5 jump. For people that got into this when it was still below 314. So 1 second, I'll get her. Go get the star of the show real quick. Go get my daughter. What are you doing, Qqq? Why are you playing with me? You wanna come trade with daddy? You wanna come trade with daddy? Not the cord. I got you. See, I don't know anything about Robinhood. I've been with Thinkorswim since, what was it, Scottrade. And when they bought them out, that's the only reason I opened up a Thinkorswim account. Now, what you're going to see is these calls are currently in the negative. What am I looking at? Ruby? What is Ruby? Ruby. See what Andre is talking about over here. Who all do we have in the call, by the way, if you'll let me know? I like to keep up with who's following and who's not. So on and so forth. Nice. No. I jumped up to, what, $38? Oh, where are you going? Just because you can't get the cable, you can't act like that, baby. Can't act like that, okay? Neo picking back up for me. SPY looks like it's still pulling down just a little bit. Tesla back up to 707. Qqq trying to bounce back up, which it should be here in the next few minutes. Seeing a round off. What? Give me that nose. Give me that nose, girl. RMO sitting at 1430, which is pretty comfortable levels that I'm happy with. Let's see. Justin's here. There she is. Start the show. Yes. AAL. Okay. I'm in QQQ. Cool, John. Cool. Were you able to get it around the $200 level? It broke above AAL, broke above that 2485 level I was talking about. As soon as it touched it, it took off. Let's see where that plays out across the board though. Now we can see this going to 30.36. I'm not sure if you guys hopped in that. I'm not sure if it was even on our spreadsheet for that matter. It was $30 strike. That's what we said. Where you going? So if you're able to get those option calls, I wasn't personally because I maxed out some of my stuff on other things. QQQs are down $25. What the hell? What the? Uh-oh. Don't drop it. Nah, she's teething. So she's been up all night. Screaming at me and mama. You don't want none of that coffee right now. Coffee is too much for you. I'm currently still positive for the day, so I'm not stressed out. I'm gonna let it keep rolling. I'm gonna let it do its thing. Seeing some round off on QQQ. But that AAL call would have been nice if we went after it, and let's do that now. Let's go through our list and see how right we would have been on some of these. I have the spreadsheet pulled over to my left, so we can look at the list at the same time. What? You want to play with something? Is that what it is? Looks like Seal actually pulled back, so we would have ended up losing. Oh no, we were gonna do a put on Seal, and it's already down 30 cents. Huh? And I said it was going back to 320. What? You throwing a fit about? You want your keyboard? There you go. Your keyboard, you can type with daddy. There you go. Go ahead. Type. See? Yeah. There you go. Can you spell Veda? V-A-Y-D-A. Veda. Anyways, looking at ECOL. Let's see. ECOL, we had some call options on it for a strike of $40. We would have bought in the money. It's all the way up to 45 now. Our target, wait a second. Looks like I had something wrong, mistyped on here for EOL. Alright, you gotta type on it. See? $40 strike. I think we were probably buying some ending monies or something. Is that what I'm thinking about? Whoa, QQQ dying out, dude. Hold on. I could only afford to grab. That's fine. But it's pulling back a little bit. I want to know why. It's actually pulling down. It's back below 315. I don't like that. I'm currently down $50 on the trade. Blech. But of course, I spent more money on it. I spent $400. Bought some personal calls on it, so I can still build up my personal account. Looking at it though, from the 1 hour vantage point, that rejection above that 316.28, man, that's what's getting us. I mean, I know it bounced above it, but it didn't find support above it. We probably could have hopped out of it at that time, but I expected this to keep running based on what the 1 hour was showing me. 30-minute looks like it's pulling back too, so I think the next time this bounces, which I expect it to before it actually dies out completely, if it is going to, we might want to look for an exit on QQQs and take what we get off of it for the day. I'm actually negative only $10 for the day. I'm getting out of my Neo calls because they're biting me below my my sell threshold. I'm down. Oh no! Fortunately, it's broke already. Let's see. Picking back up on QQQ though. We're making our way back above the 315. Slowly but for surely. Yeah, I'm getting out of Neo. No, you cannot have my cable, baby. You can have the keyboard all you want to. You can't have the cable. Okay? I feel like I'm going to pull out of these Neos and they're going to run on me. Spy's pulling down there. So, uh-oh. Let's see what happens with Tesla. RMO is still sitting. RMO is nice. I like how it's still sitting pretty heavy above the 1430s, even though Tesla's pulled back as much as it has. You're not getting it, baby. You're not happening. You can't do it. There it goes. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that back. Give me that back. Give me that back. All right, so back above 315 on QQQ, which gives me some comfort in the trade. There's times I'll let you guys know that I've been down $100 before I made $200-300 off my options. And it's really all about you're not always going to have the best entry, and that's one thing that I'm mainly focusing on as a trader myself, is making sure my entries are precise. Now, I know my directional option trades work pretty well, but it's where I can optimize my profits. I don't feel bad in where I got into this trade because it was around the 315s to begin with. But we ultimately, if we waited just a little bit, we could have got a few more bucks off the trade, like $40 more is all that's telling me. But I mean, how can you really expect this to really break back down after showing momentum strength? So it's not always going to be like instantly we're going to make money. It's the time thing. You got to wait and let it do its thing at the same time. So Neo is not showing signs of continued movement. It's not going below. It doesn't look like it's going to allow it to go below 44.79. I think if it goes below that, then I'll go ahead and hop out of it. But for now, I'm going to hold on to it so I don't waste the money that I could have spent somewhere else and miss money on profits. Back down. You should be down like $20 on your QQQs if you can confirm for that for me. About $21 or so. About $10 on the trade overall. Caught it. Reflexes. Got them reflexes. Daddy got them reflexes. Yeah. No, you're not. You can't get my cable, girl. I have to talk on this thing. I gotta talk on this thing. You want to play? Let me get her situated real quick, guys. For now, I'm gonna go back to watching the QQQ with you all actively, so you can see what I'm seeing and why I'm not hopping out of the trade. Well, 24 what? You're down 24? I got you. No worries about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Baby, don't worry. Yeah, you see how we're looking for a setup on the rebound on the 5 minute there? Oh, it just had that downward jolt. What it is doing though is it's creating a head and shoulders. I believe that's where we're about to see next on its rebound, is a head and shoulders play, and it bounces back through. Yeah, down 19 on QQQ. Okay. Yeah. You want to jump? You want to jump? Jump. alright. Baby, don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise with the morning sun. Three little birds sat on my doorstep, swinging sleep songs. Turn some TV on for you, girl. Alright, so you can see we're rebounding pretty heavily back above 315.59 as I look for my Xbox controller in my office. I need to clean this office up though, for sure. What do you do with the Xbox controller, girl? I got one controller over here. I need the second one. Yeah, so rebound in play. We should be going positive here shortly. Back positive, that is. Let me see. Yeah, I'm still down $22, so you guys should be about -11. Neo's picking up a little bit for me, so I'm holding on to it. Like I said, if it breaks below 3 or 44.79, then I'll hop out of those option calls. SPY puts working for me pretty well. It's sitting around 390, 362. Still has some time before I see it reverse at all. Qqq back up to 315.78. Where the remote control at, girl? Look at that bounce. Bam. That's what I want to see. So, back above the EMAs, this should take off now. We'll be retesting the 316s, 28s, like I said. It might pull back a little bit more if it's actually going to use a head and shoulders to bounce out of this rut. You should be down about 350 right now. What's the SPY doing? SPY trying to curve on me? I'm up $11 on my SPY calls, down $12 on my Neo, up $1 on my PLTRs. RMO is my best performer for the day. $47 up on my warrants. Winning. Hey, we winning. Just shy of $50 overall on clearing 2,000 for the day. I want to clear 2,000 a day, 2,500 tomorrow, 3,000 the next day, 3,500 the next day, and then 4K ultimately by Friday. That's why I had the idea that I would be able to hit 4K on my personal small account challenge that I started at the beginning of March. That'll be about making 250 every day for the rest of the week, which is a little bit over, actually. What is that? 250, 500. No, actually, it'll be incremental growth. So it'll be like 250 today is what I'm going after. 300, 350 tomorrow. However, Red, I'm not awake. Still. You want some TV, girl? Bouncy, bouncy. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I love this. Watch this. Look at this. What's that, Puddin'? Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it. Not the TV. Yeah. Anyways. Back to it. I want to create a position on SMPR. Okay. Down $15 for you. Johnny, when did you buy in when we bought in? Or were you a little late to buying in? SPY seeing some EMA rejections on the, what is that, the 1 minute? Yeah. Continued downward pressure. Below EMAs on the 5. Breaking down through the EMAs on the 30. I want to see what it looks like on the 10 real quick. Yeah. Breaking down on EMAs on the 10. Now, that actually could bounce on me. Kids say yes. Thinking to sell some RMO. What do you think about current support level? Man, I think new support is around 1430 right now on RMO. I'm not sure when you bought into it, Pandy. Miss Pandy, but
we're riding this out. I spent 200. I think it was, what was it, 250 on my warrants. Is that how I did it? Let me look. Let me remember. Yeah, so I spent 250 on the warrants that we bought. This is something new that I'm not used to. I spent 250 or so, about 240 on my equity calls. That's using the profits that I've made from RMO. And then I did an option call for $310. So I spent somewhere near $800 on it, like I had planned. And overall, I am up together about $100 overall on those trades. Now, the only thing, all right, we should be green on our QQQs now, as we're bouncing up above 316. We need to retest 328. I think it'll have the momentum to do so. It looks like the head and shoulders on the 1 minute might be playing out here for us. We will swing. The momentum is pretty strong there, so we should swing well above those 316.28s, as you can see it's doing now. And continue breaking out. Now I'm going to keep watching that level because it did play resistance before, so if it gets rejected, we might as well go ahead and just take our wins, what we have, and pull out. But I don't want to be premature about that, so don't freak out. I bought in when you did, but I only had 160 available. RH makes you wait for the full deposit to come through. Got you. Same here. TD Ameritrade, what I like about them is if you deposit today, you can buy options tomorrow. If you deposit today, you can go ahead and start buying shares today. I'm sorry, baby. Let me put your show on. She loves that show, Coco Melon. So I'm tracking about $3 lower than you guys. The option I could afford when you said go. It's 327 and 158. Got you. So yeah, you're gonna be just a little bit behind us, but for the most part, we should be positive. I'm at break-even levels of where I bought in initially, but like I said, it's showing some strong signals on the 1 minute here to continue breaking through those levels and continue to the upside. I'm looking at a minimum of 319 by end of day is what I want to see. So currently back up about $100, still short $46 on my $2,000 target for the day. SPY is seeing some EMA rejections. I expect to make some money off those put options that I bought. Intraday puts, I'm not expecting the market to pull back forever. But with the SPY itself being at all-time highs is why I bought it. NEO is really irritating me. Let's see where we're at with it. We might see some round off on QQQ. Looking at it from the 1 minute. Let me see something. I think the 5 minute might bring it higher though. This is the head and shoulders that I was talking about right here. And I was hoping it would be the catalyst to, yeah, there it goes. It bounced up to 326 or 316.26. So let's see how it reacts to that 316.28. Of course, we can sit here and watch this all day. I ultimately still think that we're going to a minimum of 319 overall. So I know that J-Dub was looking at SMPR, so I'm going to go back to it. Sorry, guys. Just trying to bounce everywhere for us all. Something that stands out to me about it is the fact that it's breaking these EMAs on the 30, and it's actually having some EMA rejections on the bottom 13 on the 1 hour, and it's showing momentum loss on the MACD. So I see this pulling back a little bit. We can definitely, this is on the 4 hour, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that up real quick, and we can identify our levels for it. What I would look for is a exit around 1360, and I would look to make sure that it keeps support right here about the 1105. Now let me see how that correlates with the previous. Yeah, so see, 1105 played previous resistance, and once it did break above it, it did bounce a little bit, but saw some rejection. So I would look for a buy zone. That's what this is about to help me build, between 1105 and 1161. But with it already showing momentum loss, J-Dub, on this 4 hour trend, be careful getting into it too high within that buy zone. You might find a better opportunity somewhere near the 1105 over the next day or so, because they're seeing momentum loss on the 1 hour as well. Although it is trying to conduct an EMA crossover, what I call it,
what you guys may have become common with, this is what I want to point out. The fact that it started going green, the green means that the 13 crossed above the 34, right? But it's still red because the 34 hasn't crossed above the 35 or the 55. And what that means is it's a fake out versus a breakout. So be cautious here. We should be up about $5 or so on our Qqq calls. I'd rather let this wait and stay up above those levels moving throughout the day just to make sure I stay comfortable. Looks like the SPY is trying to bounce on me, actually. Broke out a little bit on the 1 minute, but it looks like it might have lost some momentum and will be oh, I see it. It went through a compression zone. Ultimately, though, I think the SPY is still coming down for the day, or it might trade sideways. So I might not make anything off of those calls. I mean, it's flat right now. I'm up $2 on those calls. RMO doing very well for me as always. I'm up about another $100 on it. So when I close out, these warrants at the end, and I close out my call. When I close out my call for the day, I'm going to put the profits either split it in between my warrants and the actual long-term sharehold, or just one or the other. But I think I might split it, and then I'll use the same amount of money that I bought my initial option with tomorrow to buy more options, depending upon how Tesla's reacting. Even if RMOs were to pull back, I'll hedge the account for my RMO by doing a short-term put option on it, just to catch it on the downside and catch some profits on the bottom, to the bottom at least, and throw that profits back into the warrants and the stock shares itself. More so the stock shares than the warrants, because I'm just testing this out. Is where I'm leaning to. So I spent about $250 on the warrants this morning, already up $50 on them, so I'm up about 20%. My RMO, let me see where my options are. My RMO options are up 15%, and my equity stake is up 3%, so I'm pretty happy with it. Let me check the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Bought in when you did. All right, saw that, so I'm tracking it. All right, saw that. Also, I got in the bingo at 9:34. So I didn't actually get into bingo as much as I wanted to. I like the company. It's a great company. The reason I didn't get into it, is because it was churning for Thursday, Friday at this 938 or 939 level of resistance that I was seeing. And just because it broke out above it doesn't mean it can't come back below it. I was just waiting for some better confirmations on that. But as far as an exit strategy on it, look for an exit around anywhere between 1140. I want to say that's 1140. Yeah, it looks like 1140 and 1138 and $13. If it does find the momentum to break above 1138, let it ride. Put a stop loss right there, and then let it ride to 1322. Reason being is because this is a level of resistance it ran into. This is what I would call a shorter term level of resistance, and this is a more mid-term, because your long term would be up here. So if you were to color coordinate this, I would make my top line red. My mid line is always going to be orange moving forward, and then my shorter term resistance level that I'd be paying attention to is 1138. So basically what I'm saying here is you can hit this 1138 and find some resistance. If it starts to show resistance around the 1138, go ahead and look for a potential exit or scalping. Basically taking either half of the percentage of the profit you have, or 2x the amount of percentage gains you have out of the actual portfolio, to go ahead and capture and secure those, and then letting the rest continue to run. And if it pulls down, just put what you took back in around the 939s to let it run for a second time and recapture those gains for a second run. That's scenario one, if it finds the resistance around the 1138. If it breaks above it and continues to show momentum signals to the upside, I would make a full stop loss at 1138 to capture full profits, and then let it run to 1322, and then play the 1322 like I did the 1138 is how I would play this trade. But ultimately, I'm looking at the 1322 as a very good sweet exit for the trade, due to the fact that it found resistance around those levels before, and it's actually a little bit higher. It's about 1336 to be exact. But what I like about it is on the 1 day it's showing for a great prop up, so anybody that has some extra cash, you could potentially get into this now for the simple fact that we bounced back above that 939, and we just need to confirm support above that moving forward. And you can see that the momentum swing is showing that we will. Since it's been having so much resistance here, there's been a lot of transactions for at least 48 hours. You can say 48 hours, 2 trading sessions around these price levels. So with all that pent up demand of trying to push it above that, you can expect it to find support here and continue bouncing forward. So that would be my call on it. All right, so portfolio looking a little bit wonky. I'm above 1900 and I'm okay with that. I want to be above 2000 by the end of the day. Let me see what my wife's talking about real quick. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Give me just a second, guys. All right, so, all right, man, NIO's really irritating me. I'm down $25 on the option call, and I don't like it. I don't like being down. I'm willing to wait a little bit longer, but, no, I'm not going to wait all day. I see you wanted to look at THBR. 44 shares total, bought in at 934. That's, by the way, Johnny, that's a great entry point. That bouncy thing saved us. Yes. And then we just got our walker too. She loves that. She only goes backwards right now, so QQQ back above 318 or 316.28, and looks like it's about to bounce on the 1 minute. Lower time frames going green on the 1 hour, which is what we wanted to see. This could catapult this back up to those 319 levels. Definitely something to watch. The SPY's trying to bounce on me right now, and it's really irritating me. Looking at potential reversal on the 10 minute. Seeing some rejections on the 1 though, so kind of holding out on it before I get out of it. Yeah, right. Oh, snap. It recorded my live stream discussion. What, Pud? You getting tired? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll come get you, my love. Come hang out with Daddy for a little bit longer. So the SPY might be trying to bite me in the butt right now. I'm gonna see how it reacts to these levels before I hop out of the trade though, so not really stressing about it either way. Wasn't expecting to make a whole bunch of money off of the SPY puts. I just don't think that it has enough headroom to continue moving higher in a strong way. Here I come, here I come, here I come. I'm just playing with that for a second. Let's see where we're at. QQQ saw some rejections again, but I think we'll get above it. Hey, 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 come on. To the wood. Alright. THBR though. Let me pull this out real quick. See what we're doing on this thing. First thing that stands out to me though, are this 10 minute. Let me go back. Let me do this. 4 hour. Let's see the 4 hour. This could be a fake out going on right here, man. Don't get caught. So you see the 1 hour right here, J-Dub? It's pulling down a little bit. Give me a sec. Alert on AMTX. Saw some rejections around that 1195. I would see how it reacts. Those levels moving forward. This is my 10. Let's see. Let me get the 30-minute in here, and then look at it from. Yeah. So this is gonna consolidate. So I'm not saying not to get into it. You just might find some better entries on it. That's what I would pay attention to. Guys, be ready. I see you, Jeff. I'm not sure if Jeff's on here with us or not, but gotta pay attention a little bit here. There you go. Go get it, girl. I'm out of here now. Huh? Yeah. Come here. Come here. Yeah, so she's currently stuck in reverse right now. I hope that answered your question though, J-Dub. Just look for a better entry, that's all I'm saying. I see some people hopped out on us. Let me know who's still here with us. Neo breaking down on me, man. It's killing my portfolio for the day. I don't appreciate that stuff. Already down to $30 on the call. But I've been down deeper on some of these things. I can kind of hold up. Tesla is currently sitting at where? 704.05. So that would be the call for it. Hey, come here. Come here. Where you going? Where you going? Say I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for having me this morning. Where you going? Come here. Alright, let me go get her. Yeah, looking for a better place. Just thought with semiconductor shortage may be good in long term. Yeah, right. Right. And I don't disagree with that. Come here. As far as an entry into it real quick, you're down 27 on QQQ? Is that what you're saying? Are we bouncing out of Neo? I'm looking for an exit around 1479 if it goes down. Yeah, because I'm down 30. Tesla's pulling back just a little bit, so I think that's why it's weighing down. Like I said, I feel like I was kind of late to getting into that anyways. I wish I would have bought the options around the 44.79, and I would have felt a lot more comfortable. So RMO just took over the leading board with about $100 for the day. Are you out of here? Are you out of here? Are you out of here? But what I was trying to look for you, J-Dub, is an entry into it real quick before we go on to Neo. Look for an entry around 1097. It's a lot of selling volume coming in, so I'm not saying just because it hits 1097 to automatically hop into it. Be sure to you're not getting my mic cable. We're not getting my mic cable though, girl. Be sure to be ready to hop in it and then try to identify the reversal on it. I won't be watching it myself. But Justin, if Neo goes below $45, I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of the thing, man, because I'm down myself $30 flat on it. It's weighing down on my entire portfolio. Oh, I know. La, 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 la. Oh, who you mad at? Who you mad at? Who you mad at, girl? Your mama's talking to us. You want to send mama a picture? Oh, yes. Alright, there you go. You can get it. I'm sorry. Here, let's send mama a picture. Say, hey. Daddy looking rough today. I like that picture, though. Let's see what you guys talking about in the chat. I'm not really watching it. AMC just broke 14. What? Yeah, I think my Qqq just went green myself. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, I'm up $20, so you guys should be seeing like $10. My PLTRs are down. I haven't been doing pretty well on PLTR, man. Like, it shows signals of wanting to bounce, and then it just doesn't do it. Neo down about $30, man. It's really irritating me. It looked like it was going to bounce below 45 there for a second. It looks like it bounced right off of it. So, fortunately, I bought April Neo calls. Let me see what the theta on that thing is. That's, you know, we could, Justin's, whoever's in Neo with me. The good thing about buying these April calls, they're 32 days out. So you can honestly wait a little bit on them. And let them play out, right? So, with that being said, on Neo, we're looking at losing $6 a day, though. So, how many dollars are we willing to lose? That's about $30 overall. So, even if this were to pick back up a little bit and recoup some of those losses, I would be willing to wait 5 days out on this to really play out. Now, it looks like the Vega. What? You getting tired of talking with Daddy? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're retesting that $45 level though, man. So, and that's because Tesla is testing 700. Just broke below $45. So, oh man, no Neo. QQQ looks healthy. Let me see where my SPY calls are. They're above 394. Let's see. I still think the spot's coming down more though. What all that noise? What all that noise is? All that spitting and stuff on Daddy. Oh, you on my phone now? Yeah, you on the phone? You gonna take a picture and send it to mama? But, you know, looking at my call spread and how something else I wanted to point out to you guys is for every dollar these stocks go up or down, whatever I got to put in calls on, I make about $270 per trade. What? You want to go back walking? Looks like I might have to hop off of here for a little bit. I'm not sure yet. Just give me a second. Keep her preoccupied for a minute. Yeah, my SPY calls are down $13. Puts are down $13. My PLTRs are currently down about $10, and my Neos are down 27. But Neo bounced right back off of that $45 level that it just broke below, and it's showing actual reversal on the 5-minute, so we can see this bounce up back to the $47 price ranges. I'm looking to see if we see continued resistance at those levels, Justin. If we do, then we can go ahead and hop out of this around that time frame. When did I buy my Neo calls? It was at 9:07. So let me look at that on the chart real quick. I'm not looking at my chat currently right now. I need to be. I'm sorry. I have a lot of screens up right now. What? Uh-oh. Almost dropped it. Daddy got them reflexes though. So 9:07. We were sitting up in $45 ranges. Short of 46, so it could go up $1. I'd go ahead and snatch what I can off of it and make sure it's positive and then call it a day. But that's even if it goes back to those levels to begin with, so that's a concern. But as you can see on the 1 minute showing that prop up, and the 5 minutes actually following suit. Sometimes you'll see the 1 minute propping up, but the 5 minute showing a downside. Right. Let me see what y'all talking about in this chat. POW. Jeff's in the building. What's up, man? What up, man? Doing good, bro. It's doing good. That's what I'm talking about. looked like it gapped down going into the morning. People found the opportunity to buy into it. Looks like it's doing a pretty nice head and shoulders. On the 4 hour, looks like you're gonna bounce here coming up next few sessions. I want to see this above 633 here in the next hour or two, and that'll confirm that 4 hour move for you, and this should take off, man, for sure. Somebody said AMC broke out to $14. I just don't like AMC, man. I'm sorry. I don't like it, but I want to see how it reacts to that $16 level. It broke out before and found resistance there back at the end of January when all this stuff started with AMC GME. Speaking of GME, where's it at? Because I said it was going to come back down. Bet it didn't. People are probably going to hound me over that. I said it was actually coming back to 198. So we'll see. Girl, you can't get my mic, though. You can't get the Mikey. I need the Mikey. Daddy need the Mikey. Okay? Old Tubby Wub. Tubby Wub. AMC, though, looks like it broke out to 14, above 14. SPY looks like it's trying to set up on me, though. I don't like it. Might go ahead and take my losses there. Babysitting the crew today, I understand. I'll be working from home for the most part, so I'll be in and out of here all day. Girl. We ain't gonna act like that. Alright. Well, let's go do something fun. I know you wanna do some stuff. Let's do it. Ooh, what do we got in here? What's all this stuff? Somebody's hungry. That's what it sounds like to me. Just to look at the Qqq with you guys. There's something that just happened I want to share with you on this. And this is the things that I look for. So, with the Qqq, let's look at the lower time frame real quick. What it did was it broke that 1628, 316.28. It broke back above it again. Now, of course, it conducted the head and shoulders that I was talking about on the 1 minute. And as it tried to reverse, it actually found support off of that level now. So we can expect this to stay above it moving forward. Baby, you can't get that stuff. Give me a second. See where my money's at real quick, and then we'll go get you something to eat. I'm up like $50 overall. it looks like we broke below 316.28 on QQQ. Looks like we're breaking down on Neo. I might get out of it. SPY is reversing, coming back down a little bit. Tesla sitting at 701. RMO sitting at 453, which I'm pretty happy with. So I'm gonna step away for just a second, guys. I'll be right back. No, don't break down on me. I need you up. SPY broke down, yes. Still holding on to those. Be right back, guys. All right, so it looks like QQQ took a dump on us. I'm gonna see why here. Out, 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 go, out, go. Let's see why. Currently down $50 overall for the day. I want to see what's going on. Let's see what the spot is telling us. I'm not seeing anything that's just standing out on the news on the pullback. I want to look at the daily trade log real quick. We just went to a -5. I want to know what's going on in that regard. Looks like the VIX was starting to try to pick up a little bit. It's going positive for the day. It has since pulled back since this morning. I want to see where I'm losing and winning at. Up $29 on my SPY puts. Up $31 on my RMO calls, or warrants. Up $21 on my calls. Up $3 on my equity. Down $27 on Palantir, and Neo is down $43, with my QQQs being down 55, ultimately causing the issues in my portfolio. It looks like Neo's going to rebound. I might be looking for an exit there. Tesla broke below 700, so it's weighing down on the rest of the markets. And then QQQ took a dump back to the 314 levels, which is what brought it down ultimately. There's one thing that's keeping my confidence in the QQQ, and it was on the 1 hour, so I'm going to double check that and see how it's looking. You can see we had like a fake out on the MACD, but one thing that stood out to me is that it hit this 34 EMA, and it can bounce off of that. That's what I want to happen. I was hoping to keep support above that 316.38 level, or 28 level, excuse me. We might see a semi RSI bounce on QQQ before it does bounce back to the upside, so I'm going to hold this. Like I said, I typically see a lot of pullbacks before I actually get antsy on Neo and QQQ. I understand, bro, but I'm more concerned about Neo than I am the QQQ, actually, right now. I'm probably going to go ahead and capture my wins off of the SPY, being below 393 right now. I'm going to see how it reacts to the 392.48 levels real quick. That might be my exit on it. And then if it reverses, then we can expect the rest of these to come back up as well. Really not liking my Neo calls more than my QQQs, so they broke below 44.79. I walked away and came back, and that's the situation I came back to. I was keeping an eye on the QQQ overall, but it looks like it's going to be retesting these levels right here that we're at. I want to see how it reacts to these levels around the 1453. We're a little bit below that right now, so ultimately, actually, to pull that back just a little bit more, it's going to see like 1389, but let me do an analysis on it real quick and see what we're looking like. So we might go ahead, just based off what I just saw on the 30-minute, pull out of this trade for a loss, unfortunately. I am currently idling above 1800 myself. Fortunately, I did do some shorts on the SPY, and I'm winning there. RMO is doing pretty well with all this happening in the markets all together. Might go ahead and capture my gains off the SPY real quick. Hop out of that trade, and then look forward to the rest of them picking back up going into today. What I want to see also is where the US 10-year, because this is what I keep telling y'all we have to pay attention to. If it's gapping up, it's actually pulling back down, and I had assumed that it would have some pullback, so this should open up the markets to be able to continue pushing to the upside. So we might see some temporary shorts losses on here. I typically deal with this every day, where I'm in at a loss at some point. Going into the morning, it'll be a downward swing with an upside swing at the end of the day. So that's what I'm playing on right now, and just kind of keeping track of everything in the process. So definitely seeing how it's going to react to those. It looked like it bounced right off of that 314.52. and it's currently reversed into the upside on the QQQ, by the way. So let me see what you're talking about in the chat. Even the RMO call is down. Just need some patience, maybe. Yeah, right. It's just patience, man. Like, there's going to be volatility in it, and a lot of people freak out when you see volatility in the markets, and they jump out of these trades that they could potentially make money on if they just had a little bit more patience. And that's basically what I'm riding on, and what I've been working on myself as an investor, is having a little bit more patience instead of, you know, freaking out. Because as you can see on the 1 minute, the 5 minute was showing a pullback, but on the 1 minute we're seeing some slight reversal. So before we do, though, I expect, yep, we're already doing the RSI double bounce here. Let's see if we bounce off of this now, is what I'm hoping for. Still testing those 314, 52, 53 levels that I was talking about. Already back up to 314, 62. So I expect this to send it back into an uptrend. We need to break above, I think it's actually what you would call a triple top rejection right here at the 316, 69s. I think when it retested again, that's when we'll actually see some stronger gains. We could have took gains earlier, called it a day, but you miss out on optimal gains, and that's the thing. That's the name of the game. So SPY just broke below 392.48 like I expected, and still showing some signs of pulling back. Of course, that's on the 1 minute. Let me see if I can identify a reversal on it. I think it's going to pull down a little bit more, and that's kind of weighing down on the QQQ. So once we see that reverse too, which I can share with you, then we'll see some reversals on these other ones. So it's more so about patience, man. I don't know if you guys have realized, but it takes me all day in some of these trades. I'm actually down $70 on that QQQ call, and I have 2 of those contracts. So you should be down about $35 right now, I think, give or take. If you want to let me know, give me an update of where you guys are at, and go from there. Neo, I'm currently down $40 on, but it's actually showing a reversal bounce off of the, it looks like, let me see if I can identify that. Looks like it bounced right out the 44, 43. I'm expecting Tesla to pick back up. One thing I haven't been doing with the RMO is holding on to my calls for it. And I bought it in out till April, 1250 calls. It's in the money. So let's see what I'm looking for right now is to see what my data burn on it is. Basically what I lose per day. And I lose $2 per day to wait for this to actually perform a lot better. I'm actually about to go back positive for the day. We can see the SPY's reversing. I'm probably going to go ahead and hop out of those, as I'm starting to see some reversal signals there. But it has a potential for a double RSI bounce, so it could dig down a little bit lower before it does anything. And it'd be nice if it bounced off the 391. I could catch those intraday swings to the downside, make $67 on that fallout, and then pull back. So let's see. I'm watching the SPY now. We're watching it together actively, but down 30. Okay. So we're down about, what, 10, 15% should be? Let me see. 15. I'm down 15% personally. So, but like I said, we see some pullback all the time. If you watched any of my trades last week, you would have saw how much. There were sometimes I was down like $250, and I still came out at the end of the day up 200. So it's just about that patience, man. Not freaking out. Having confidence in our trades. I still think the QQQ is still going to perform for the day, just based off of where it's at on the 1 hour. But I think the SPY needs to rebound a little bit for us in order for that to happen. So we'll watch both of those. Good thing about it is 10-year treasury yield, which has been weighing us down for the most part, is actually down itself. So that is taking pressure off of the markets overall. I had already estimated that it'd pull back today at some point. I personally, it just went positive for a split second and then pulled back down a little bit. So I'm waiting to see if the SPY is going to break below 392. If it does, I'm going to get out of it because I think it'll reverse at that point. As it's already conducting its double RSI bounce. Tim, I'm not sure you got my message earlier, but I was wondering if you knew anything. Let me see what they're talking about. Let's see. WWR, if it's a good buy or not. We can look at it real quick while we wait for this to play out. I didn't see it. Nick, I'm not sure if you're on here or not, but I didn't see that message. Let me see. Was Nick in here? I didn't even see him in here earlier. Just going through my chat real quick. Picking back up right now on some of our viewers. I know we were down to like 3 people. Bought into TLT market flop on the SPY, and it looks like I'm exiting the SPY calls or puts that I had. I think that it's about to reverse. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of that for $75 win on those puts. That is, go ahead and get out of that trade for what I gained off of it. That allows me to hedge my account, right? Just to expand outside of this group challenge that we're doing. That allowed me to hedge outside of my account with everything going down on the other side of things. I'm hopping out of that. Just sold my SPY puts. I'm seeing a reversal on that. That should allow everything else to pick back up. Now, Nick was asking about WWR and whether or not this was a good buy. I'm going to take some time to look at it for him real quick, and I'll look at it with you guys at the same time. So 30 minute, let's do it on the 1, or let's do it on the longer time frame. So 4 hour here, 1 hour here. And see, so he's looking at an equity share on this, basically buying shares into the trade. So I'm going to look at it from a longer time frame to conduct a swing trade here. I'm glad I sold my SPY puts. I sold them for $343. They're already down to $333. So the reversal is currently in play. Nick, I'm not sure if you're here right now, but I like the setup on WWR. And I would look for some resistance around 9.15. So we're looking at a $3 jump, give or take, and we'll rebound. So you all should start seeing your Qqq calls pick back up. Your Neo should be picking back up. We're almost back to $45 on Neo. I'm only down $32 on it. My PLTRs are down as well. That's all due to the SPY breaking down earlier. As we saw, it's currently picking back up. QQQ headed back to 315, of course. Palantir headed back up to $27. So this is that patience I was talking about, and basically just being patient. Simple. You can't let the volatility scare you out of making your money. TLT, Jeff said he bought into it. It's down, and it's been in a strong downtrend. What I want to see on TLT, Jeff, I'm not sure if you're in here with us, is how it reacts to this current levels that it's at around the 137. It could have an EMA rejection right here on the 1 hour. I think this is 30 minute. But we could definitely see a rejection on the 1 hour. It could bounce all the way up to maybe 138 and see some EMA rejections. But for the most part, it's been in a downtrend. And if you look at this 4 hour time frame, it's been bouncing off of that 34 EMA. I expect that to continue. So I'm not sure you bought into it. Yeah, I don't think so, Jeff. I don't think so. We saw a pullback on the SPY because it was already at those all-time highs. It's gonna pull back. That's what I said. It was an intraday trade for me. I bought it. The SPY puts that I bought at let me see what my trade price was on the SPY puts. I bought those for $272. I sold them for $343. I made $71 off the trade, to be exact. After I actually sold it, I was up to $75. But we should start seeing everything pick back up now as it continues to reverse. TLT already above 137. It's breaking that EMA, so it might not even occur. That might be a good buy for you, Jeff, overall. But I just don't think the markets are flocking just yet. Looking at the QQQ, there's some things that are catching my attention that I want to pay attention to. And it's going to see how it reacts to these levels now. Of course, that's at the 315, 13. I think it's going to find the momentum. If you start looking through the time frames, you're seeing a 5-minute reversal. 10 minutes should follow. Once the 10 minutes and the 15s go green on the MACD is when you see these jolts up to the upside. And we'll see potentially the 1 hour still propped up pretty well for one of these types of swings where we see a, what is that? Potential $4 to $5 swing to the upside after reversing. Of course, this was in a downtrend though, so it was dying to break out. So what I look for when I'm using my EMAs is basically these types of reactions and how they act. But ultimately, I think the QQQ has been pushed down so much that it's dying to break out. We got about 15 minutes left in this hour. I think that's going to be a time where it reverses at the end of that hour. So currently back up pretty much on everything except my Neo calls. It still is making its way above $45. My QQQs is still making its way above 315. The good thing about it is they run in correlation because Neo is on the NASDAQ, to my understanding. Oh, no, it's actually on the New York Stock Exchange. Doesn't matter. Tesla is still actually listed as being on the NASDAQ. So let's see what it's doing. As you can see, a reversal there on the 5-minute. So we should see this break back above 700 with ease. That'll bring back up our RMO calls. That'll bring back up our Neo calls. The NASDAQ should follow. And like I said, if you look, it's still actually listed as the NASDAQ. Even though it's on the SPY. Now, I'm not sure if it's, that's one thing I really wanted to see, is if Tesla is now dually listed, because on here it still shows it as listed as NASDAQ, but I know that they just joined the S&P 500 as well. So, all right, Palantir down $16. Neo down $30, and my QQQs are down $48, and I'm still up $54 for the day. So hedging my account and that effort of doing puts on the SPY, because I knew it was going to come back down, even if it was temporary, which it was a midday temporary pullback. I wanted to capture gains off of that. We're seeing red across the markets, I think ultimately because of the SPY pulling back. I'm not seeing anything else, not even the US 10-year causing any more issues moving forward. Let's see where it's at. It's continuing to pull down. So it's currently sitting at 160 and conducting a EMA crossover on the 30. If it was going to continue moving up, I would have saw an EMA bounce off of that 34 on the 1 hour and show a momentum loss on the 4 hour and the daily. So as long as that continues to pull back, we'll see the markets actually pull up. The only reason we saw the SPY pick up or pull down is because of the simple fact that it was already at all-time highs, and that's typically what happens with the SPY. So let's see what the chat's talking about. I'm not really looking. Rookie move, push the 25 pair upside down with the 5 banger. What? Punch the 25 pair. Oh. You should send in a pro there, Jeff. All right. What are you guys down on when you're saying you're down, Justin's? Are you talking about your QQQs? Is that what you're referring to? Also, I have to keep in mind that I have a multi-stream going now, where I'm on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, oh yeah, see, Nick was hitting me up on Facebook over here. I need to look at my multi-stream moving forward because like I'm missing people talking to me. I thought Tesla went to SPY. Yeah, the only reason I'm talking about that, Jeff, is because TradingView still has it listed as NASDAQ. It did join the SPY, but I don't know if it left the NASDAQ to do it. And there's actually dually listed stocks that exist, apparently. I found one not too long ago. So we're back above 315 on QQQ. Comfort coming back into play there. Like I said, it's just all about patience. I'm down $41, so you guys should be down about 20, 21. I'm not sure. Depends on where you bought in. But no more than 10% down right now. Neo calls only down $28. Seeing some reversals on it. Palantir down $14. RMO is still performing just as well as it was this morning. It's been one of my top hits. I'm going to move my SPY out of here so I can... Now what I can really do, since I knew SPY puts were going to be intraday, I'm going to move it out. I can look at my mobile app and it'll give me a combined wire. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Get out of my way, please. Glad I bought those warrants. I don't know how it's going to work out still. Like I have an idea of what we're looking at, but up $61 overall. Open -4 right now. So my current delta is $302 for every dollar these things go up. And then my trade-off is -$47. So I'll average about $250 on all of these calls that I made every dollar it goes up. That is more so reason to keep some of these if I wanted to going into the next few days. The only thing I wouldn't keep per se is my QQQs. I'm day trading that today. I expect to get out of it as soon as it hits the levels I want to see, which is roughly about 318. I think once we do this triple top, we'll be able to break through those 316.28s a lot more efficiently, continue to the upside and hold strong. So once I remove that though, once I remove my QQQs, that'll pull my delta down about $48, but it'll also pull my theta down about 34. So in theory, what that means is I will be making about 254 every dollar these go up, and only losing $7. So I'm still plus 247 or so in my ratio of holding. I'm sitting at 1930 right now, only because I did my SPY puts this morning. SPY is kind of losing some steam there. It might do a RSI dip. We might see some of these things pull back a little bit more again because of that. And the SPY might go just a little bit below 392 before it bounces. No lower than 391.64 is my expectation on it. So let's see what you're saying in the chat. I'm sorry, I keep bouncing. Puts go the same way as calls, right? You buy the put and sell the put. Yes. So I bought my puts when the SPY hit 394.11 this morning, and I sold them when they hit 392. I think it was like 30 something, 20 something. So I was able to capture $71 off the option. It was up to $75 at its max ever since I sold it. It's currently trading at, let me see what it's currently at. I sold my DPW as well. It's just not, I feel like my money's just sitting there for no reason, as of right now at least. I sold it for 152. It's actually up to 165, so I missed out on some profits from it. I sold my SPY calls for $343. It's currently sitting at 310 ever since I sold it. So I'm glad I was able to catch that exit out of it. It looks like the SPY is continuing trying to push up, but I'm watching it on the 1 minute to see if it has an EMA rejection right around these levels of the 393. So I'm currently positive overall with all of my open trades. RMO still powering through. It's actually a powerhouse in my portfolio. Tesla just hit $700, which is what we wanted to see. It looks like Neo's having some issues getting above $45, but I'm still holding on to it. Like I said, I could have got out of it after it broke below $45 or when it hit $20 loss on the trade, but I decided to hold on because I knew that the markets were going to pull back. So it's about to be 11 o'clock. I have a few more minutes with you guys. Only down on Ford today. Green across the board. What'd Ford do, man? When did you get into Ford, Jeff? Oh, man, it had a hard pullback. Not hard, about 30 cents, but it did pull back. It gapped down a little bit, which is good, though. I mean, it's finding support above these 1303 levels as well, so. Currently sitting at 315.23 right now on QQQ. We can look at it real quick. US 10-year just broke back below 150, 160, or 159, 160. Let's see where the SPY is. Share that with you guys real quick. Just picking back up to 393. Seeing some reversal on the 10 minute. I think I got in Thursday. What was your price average? Seeing some reversal there. Let me see what the QQQ is looking like with you guys. And I have some other obligations for the rest of the day, so I think I'm going to be hopping off of here for a minute. Some work to do here. I want to see how it reacts to this 369 or 316.69 on the QQQ. If we see some rejections there, we're coming back down. I'd advise getting out of the trade. I'll let you guys know from there. All right. Where are we at? 15. All right. So there was a concern that I was watching on the 1 minute with the QQQ. There's 1 minute. Yeah, right. So you see this EMA rejection that was occurring there? I was worried that we were going to get stuck here. It's going to pull back down. But the fact that it broke up, algos are probably kicking in, and we're seeing some buying come into play. Another thing that I was worried about was potential resistance at those levels. As you can see, it did run into that a little bit, specifically around these 1532s. But the fact that it broke above it, I think we're going to continue moving higher on the QQQ, back up to those 316.69 levels. So looking pretty good there. There's something I want to check for Shad. He was asking me about AMT, American Tower Corp. I want to see where it's currently at. I was expecting this to actually pull back to 208, but ever since then it's really bounced out above that. Landed about 215 last few trading sessions. This is a great long-term stock if you just hold equity on it. I don't think you'll be able to buy the options on it. They're so expensive. YouTube and Facebook. So, getting used to it. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the YouTube chat. Got it in Thursday. Okay. But before I say get into AMT, look for some slight pullback on the 1 hour. As you can see, it's kind of consolidating there. Finding some resistance right here above the 217. Back to QQQ though. It did have some pullback. I'm looking for some bounce off of this EMA real quick. I want to show you what I'm talking about, and it did. So now we're bouncing off of the EMAs. That's a signal that we're going to continue to the upside. SPY for the most part is back above 393 and conducted the same pattern. So when I sold my puts, you could have bought calls on the SPY at that point and catch money on the way up. And that would be another way to hedge some of your profit loss versus averaging down. You could have just did a call on the option on the SPY and then rode that up and picked up some of these losses that we took on some of these. I'm currently down about 6% now on my QQQs, about $27 overall. That should put you guys around $13 because I have 2 contracts. Neo is really bothering me. Having issues getting above $45. Need it to bounce above 45 and continue moving back to the 47 range. I actually have an expectation that we might find some slight resistance around the 46.57, Justin. So if it does make it back to that area, then I'll be definitely watching it to see if I'm going to stay in it for the longer haul, how it reacts to those levels and continues moving forward. So let's see. Let's check our momentum across the time frames real quick. Seeing a reversal on the 10-minute, which is what we wanted. 5-minute looks like it's about to prop up. This is really going to catapult it up on its own. No need for any type of catalyst other than momentum. 1 hour looks like I expect this to actually take off in the next few minutes because of the 1 hour about to end. That candle for this hour, and it's bouncing right off of those 1 hour EMAs. That's why I use them. They come into play so well. And identifying, bounces, potential bounces, identifying those bounces. I mean, look at it. It's rode this 1 hour top line EMA. That's the 13 EMA for the most part. All this morning, all the way into after hours and pre-market last week. As soon as it bounced above it, it's been doing that since. So I actually had calls on it. Last week I wanted this above like 319. Didn't do it for me, but that's fine. So. Let's see. Andre sending me pictures. What you sending me pictures of, bruh? Close PL. Gotcha. I like Andre's method. So he does this like index type situation of his own where he buys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shares of everything that's moving. And then anything that's not moving, he might add to it or reallocate that money to the things that are. And he pulls in like $300-400 a day consistently, $500-600 a day consistently running like that. And I really like that. And that's really focused on it like a portfolio type level. What I need to be doing though is probably hopping off here in the next few minutes. I'll keep you guys updated, but I need to get to work on our premium trade alerts and getting some of that information out to them guys, to our team there. I saw some people hopped in on the premium membership, so I will be getting you into the distribution list. I do have a quick update while I have some of you guys here. I know everybody's not here that was here this morning. The mobile app is on the App Store. I will share the link with you. If you have an Android device, that's the only App Store I have it on now. Apple's giving me some issues. I've tried paying their developer membership like 7 times now, and they keep saying they're having issues processing the transaction. It doesn't make sense, although they pull the money out of my account. So until I can get that squared away with Apple, I won't be able to have it on the App Store for Apple, so you can get it on your iPhone. But there is an alternative that I can use. It's called Expo. It's like a gateway application where you can actually access it through that. So if you guys are interested, if you have Apple devices, I can send you that, and you can at least access the mobile app while I hash everything out with Apple and their bull. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to show you guys this. I'll do this over here. In the meantime, and get you guys, make sure everybody's set up on the proper. Oh man, it looks like we're pulling back a little bit on the Qqq, losing some momentum actually. Let's see where my portfolio is real quick. See what we're looking like on the 5-minute, 15-second. Seen a lot of buying volume come in. I don't know if this is really going to break out or not. Let's see. Check the portfolio. Still up above $1,900. Pretty comfortable with that. Open PL is negative 22 right now. So have some recovery to do. RMO still my top leader right now with my call and options and my warrants on it. Palantir still disappointing me. It seems like Neo's just having issues. It looks like it's coming into play to bounce, Justin, on Neo. There we go. That was that bounce I was looking for on the Qqq. But looking at Neo real quick, this is what I'm looking at on it. And it's, what is that, the 5-minute? This 5-minute reversal right here is gonna probably give it the catalyst to get above these EMAs. So not really concerned there. Up $56 for the day. Are you downloading the Expo app? Is that what you're saying? US 10-year AAB. Yeah, what's it doing? I haven't looked at it this morning, Nick. Oh man, it bounced heavy. Up about close to 100% once it hits 30 cents, 32 to be exact. I actually said it was going to take off today. I wish I would have got into it. I don't do penny stocks though, so looks like it's bouncing and finding some resistance right there. See how it reacts to that level again around the 27.3, which is currently sitting at. So, but overall, to do a further out Android, did you find it on the App Store already? Like, Justin, were you able to actually find it on the App Store on your own? What is this doing, man? Why is it giving me issues? I'm trying to add. Thank you. All right. So what I'm watching for is resistance, Nick. I'm not sure if I think you can see this on Facebook Live. If it breaks above these 27 threes, look for it to break out to the 396 next. If it's not able to do so, I would watch out for it to pull back down at least to the 20-cent level. So you might want to capture some of your gains there. Justin, are you in our Facebook chat? Because I want to see what you're seeing. I'm seeing it from the developer side, so it's kind of hard for me to see anything. What time is it? 11:03. I need to track. See some guys in the group that bought into AAB. Popped right up. Cool. I was worried about that with it being a fairly new app. Did it have our logo and everything? Currently up $43 for the day. Neo is weighing down on me. QQQ is down. You guys should be down about close to 10%. Like I said, I was seeing some momentum loss on the 1 minute, which was concerning me, which was basically like a fake Ema crossover, basically. Tracking the markets right now here in a second. See where we're at from this morning. So from pre-market, U.S. equities are up overall. The SPY is down, of course, because it pulled back like I expected. My international equities aren't tracking the DAX for some reason, and I'm wondering why. The VIX is actually down from this morning, still about 1.65%. It's picked up a little bit, about 1.14%, up 2.51% overall for the day. And then crude's actually, what is that? Has it picked up? It's picked up a little bit, and copper's went down. Then the Australian dollar in comparison to the Japanese yen is up. So we're going to ride these levels for a little bit on the QQQ, and the 1 hour is still showing me that we have potential for breaking out. 30 minute is showing some weakness though, so I'm really going to be watching those levels moving forward. But other than that, the 10 minutes showing a bounce coming in. 5 minutes showing a bounce coming in. As you can see, it's starting to pick up again. And the 30 minutes actually picking up strength from that momentum. So definitely see what's going on there. I'm only down -4 with my PL open. I was down like $22. So it's jumped just that quick. I just went positive on it actually. RMO still leading the way. QQQ, you should be down about 5% on it. As you can see, that bounce back up above 315.53. And Neo's looking like it's finally propping up to bounce above $45. So that's what I'm really looking for, is Neo to quit weighing on my portfolio. Another thing that I don't spread this much, where I have to watch 4 different things, 5 different things at one time. I want to find confidence in individual trades that I make, and that's typically why my portfolio worked the way it did. I was looking for the white, found it. Word, that's what's up. So Google's they've been giving me a lot of issues on a lot of different fronts with my original business. Actually, I had to get on the phone with them again with my original app that I had. They closed it down. They shut down some of my business listings, like just because I have multiple businesses for the same address or something like that. So now I have to do, like, they just really been giving me a lot of issues on a lot of different fronts. And I'm glad for the most part that they didn't give me issues on this app, this new app. Now, with the Android piece, you're going to see the logos are out of alignment. I built this using an Apple emulator, and I just downloaded the Android emulator, so I expect those design issues to be out of the way. But other than that, the functionality is still there. And pretty much I built a temporary app just to give you an idea, to give you quick links to individual pieces on the website, as I'm working on the larger app in itself, and it being its own standalone app versus having to depend on the website still. But for the most part, you should still be able to access most of it. Let me know if you have any issues in the Google chats, and specifically Discord too. I want to start migrating things towards Discord a little bit more. Because I can segment the conversations and also provide better support in different segments. I added a trade review for you guys on Discord where you can ask for stocks when we're not doing our live stream. You can ask for stock reviews. I can do either on the coffee and stocks sessions, or I can do more in-depth. What I might do is, what I'm thinking about doing is doing more on coffee and stocks, just a quick review of it for entries intraday, so you can get that quick jump in, but doing more in-depths after that. But that'll definitely give me the ability to keep track of some of these trades a little bit better as they're coming in, and doing them in the order that you send them. IQST, let's have a look at it. Nick. So let me pull out my entire spread real quick so I can see where it's at. I'm going to have to hop off here, though, so I can get to some other obligations for the day. Neo just broke $45. QQQ just broke out of that downward trend, bouncing on the 10 minute, pulling back up on the 30, and the 1 hour is potentially going green as well. So I'm looking for potential resistance around the what was it? Let me look real quick. I'm just trying to keep these active trades priority. Looking for potential resistance around the 316.69, but with it doing a triple top, yeah, Justin, I have to. That's what I was saying. I'm going. That's the other obligations I have to work on. I haven't pushed any trade alerts yet. I need to do that. I need to get everybody that signed up for premium set up on the DL list and everything like that. So as soon as I get it situated, Justin, you'll see a message from me directly telling you to basically, close the app out, close the website out. It should auto log you back in, and then it should automatically update your dashboard as well. So. But yeah, it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and need to hop over that. Steven, I'm not sure if you're in here, but SNDL needs to stay above 155, not 150. And that was my concern, is that it wasn't. Currently positive on my PL open. That's because Neo pulled back. Currently still down 50%, down 5% on my QQQ. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let me get back to IQST real quick. For Nick, before we hop off of here, he was looking for a potential entry into it. Let's see, we have 10 minute, 30 minute. Nick, I think it's potentially going to prop up and retest those 147s. I mean, that still gives you 24, so 20% swing on the trade. I'm not sure if you already have a position in it. Even if it finds resistance around that 147 again, look for an exit right there. Look for it to break above it first before you exit, of course, but it could find resistance, come back below it, and trend sideways. But it looks like it's building the momentum to at least trend sideways at those levels, and it could continue bouncing up to that 169 level, and ultimately up to the $2. So that's my thesis on it. Not a bad buy getting into it now. It does show some slight pullback on the 10 minute, but it's riding above that EMA, so I expect it to stay at those levels moving forward. You guys have any more questions while I have you online, so I can get back to what I need to do? Neo's breaking below 345 again, but ultimately showing a round up back to the 46s on the higher time frame, so I'm pretty confident in it. We saw some slight pullback on QQQ, but for the most part, it's still showing uptrend potential on the 10 minute, and 1 hour is yet to go green. I expect in the next 2 hours, our EMAs and our MACD will be positive. We'll start seeing this going into the end of the day at those higher price levels that I was looking for. So let's see if you guys, thanks for touching on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here a little bit past my time limit, 11 minutes. Thank you all for joining the coffee and stock sessions. As I always ask, to show your support by simply sharing it with other people. If you're new here, I'm not sure who's all still on the live chat trade session with us. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel. So QQQ, what am I watching for the rest of the day? On the QQQ, I think we found our intraday support level. What we're looking for on exit strategy is about the 318. We might find some resistance around the 316.69, like I said earlier. Watch how it reacts to that level. It'll actually do a triple top intraday at those levels. And I think that triple top is going to give it the ability to bounce above those levels. Okay. So 1 hour, I'm still waiting for it to show some resilience and bounce to the upside. I expect in the next hour or two for it to do that. But watch those levels. I'm going to be constantly updating on this trade throughout the chats and the discords, specifically the discords, because I think most of the people in this small account challenge rest in that discord with us. So look for updates in the discord specifically, and I will try to do my best to keep you up to date on Facebook as well. Okay, but I gotta go ahead and hop off here so I can get some work done, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Look forward for another session. Do an update. I might do an update specifically on the QQQ video update, so we can have a visual of where it's at. Or if anything, I'll share a screenshot so you can see what it's doing. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions in the chats, in the Discord, wherever you feel comfortable. Of course, man. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here.